Right, so it's gonna be on the fly. It's gonna be the loosest.
I'll be on the fly.
It's gonna be as loose as
Snoke's body.
Yeah, it's gonna be loose as
snow.
Well, it depends. If
you
it's
just said what Travis said, but you took out a bunch of letters.
Are we ready, gentlemen?
Snow?
Yeah.
Always.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final GeekVerse live newscast of 2017. I'm the loose Travis Snell.
I am the fabled fool, Dylan Muss.
I'm the ugly Taylor Field.
Oh, don't say that.
So if podcast listeners don't even wear an ugly sweater, they just think you're really down on yourself.
Well, not everyone. I'm sure they can listen to my voice and think, that guy sounds handsome. He sounds like a stud.
Are you saying that because your girlfriend listens to the cast?
Quite possible.
Quite possibly. How many does she listen to? Does she listen? Is she listening right now?
She's working right now, but she surprises me. She'll be like, "Oh, I watched the episode the other day." I'm like, "What? You watched it? Like, wow." Like,
She's
what?
waiting to hear Taylor say something bad.
She's
about
watched
it.
probably more than I have.
You should hear what Taylor says
Wow.
off cast about you. All great things.
Okay.
See, I took it. I turned it
Nice.
around.
Big
Come
plot
on.
twist.
Anyways, this is the last newscast for the year. So next week we're gonna have. I'm gonna give you. This is gonna be some quick promotion, but you're gonna want to stay tuned because there's some good stuff, and we have some thank yous to throw out. Next week is our bloopers episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a bloopers of best stuff. We have very few bloopers nowadays, but it's a yearly tradition. I would recommend highly you go back and listen to 2015, 2016,
Very spicy.
and this year because that is the best to kind of find out inside jokes and like just funny moments.
Yep.
First year, tons of bloopers because we were new to podcasting. This year, it's just kind of like strange things. I edit the podcast and before I had to upload YouTube, so I hear a lot of the jokes or a lot of moments. So I've accumulated some good ones, I think. So that's gonna be good.
Nice.
In 2018, the first episode's going to be the 2018 movie preview. And the reason that's going to be because we have a semi-huge announcement for GeekVerse. What we are going to try out is, in 2018, we are going to try to divide the gaming news and the movie news and put them into separate episodes, as Dylan just mocks me. But the reason is so this will be, for now, the last one where it's combined of movie and news. So if you still love that...
Movie and gaming news,
Damn
you
it.
should say.
If you still love that, you're still going to get that the episodes are going to release back to back. The only reason we're doing it is because I, as somebody that watches the stats continually all the time, I can see there's different patterns. And I thought about, hey, if someone's not in the gaming and they see the main topic is, Xbox, they might not even go listen to any of the movie news. We talk about, there's some, like, you
could have used PS4 as an example, but I could have used Xbox.
What I want to do is sometimes we have great conversations and I just want to make sure people hear them and not just look at it and go, And the other thing is for gaming, as you can see, lots of times I feel like it only gets like one square in our thumbnail. Now we can talk about a bunch more gaming things. We don't know which of the gaming ones are going to be weekly. If there's tons of news, we'll do a movie one and a gaming one back to back. And you'll get them on podcast feed. You'll get them live. It'll be the exact same. You'll just have to click one more time.
Yeah.
Not going to be much different. And then if not, if the news doesn't suffice one or the other, we might skip them. So like 1 week, if there's like an E3 week, no movie news, the newscast just E3, video game stuff. So sometimes we get 2, sometimes we get 1, but it's going to be great. So please follow along, check it out. I think it's going to be a good change for both of them. I think it's going to strengthen both and spread the word, ladies and gentlemen.
Spread the word.
Okay, now I'm going to move on to some thank yous. And honestly, I'm going to thank the fans, not Podbay fans, but I'm going to thank the fans because Last Jedi we're going to be talking about a lot, but our Last Jedi episode was our biggest podcast episode of all time. It's crazy nuts. The last one was Suicide Squad way back. That's held the reign for a year and a half now. And I thought Justice League was going to do it. It didn't. Star Wars, you guys have tuned out, tuned out. You've tuned in, so we thank you very much because honestly, I said this on my personal Facebook. I'm just happy that even hundreds, sometimes thousands listen to us. It's nuts that happens, you know? Like, whether you love us or hate us, you've made us a part of your day, night, week, whenever we say that. So that's great. You made this our biggest year of our podcasting. You made YouTube our biggest episode. We got to 200 subscriptions, which we wanted. You got the biggest gauntlet video of the year with Geek Mania. So far, you guys have just been supporting us, and we thank you very much. We can't give you anything other than just more great content.
Right.
And there's going to be tons of spin-off shows coming in the new year. That's the other thing I want to announce is most of the spin-off shows are going to be bi-monthly now. So it's sometimes we have a lot of shows. It's a little hard to keep up Netflix and Fail monthly, Hunka monthly, because those guys are really hard to get a hold of.
They're traditionally uncontactable.
Yeah, so it's very similar as Taylor's already been doing Geeks Creed. As you see, he like kind of jumps a month or two. That's what we're gonna be doing. So you're still gonna be getting those spin-off shows. If you're mad about that, I'm sorry. We just don't have the time nor money to do all these things.
Yes.
One day, if we do this as a
We're
job,
full time. Yeah, we're doing Netflix and Fail every week.
yeah,
like,
I would.
joke.
I would love
do
to,
it
but
every
it's
week,
honestly
yeah.
we just don't have the time, and we want to do other things. There's lots of great spin-off shows, so check out all that. Gauntlet is coming back next year. It's gonna be huge. Tons of stuff planned. The very first match of the season. Dylan Luss versus Tyler Breaks for the title. It's gonna be huge. Tune in. You'll find out what is this shirt, the Wolf Order. What does that even mean? 2018. You'll find out.
Is it lame? Is it cool? Who knows?
It's gonna be so cool. And the last thing to announce, in the first few weeks of January, there'll probably be a little light content because we'll be doing holidays and whatnot. I will be releasing the full 24-hour stream so you could watch that. That has the GeekVerse Gauntlet tournament. We're not gonna spoil it because we haven't really said who won it or who's champion because we've kind of kept that cagey.
Who knows, right?
So you could watch it there, and it's lots of fun. It's 24 hours. The first 8 hours is the tournament. There's a championship match. I can spoil that. Yeah, it's lots of fun. So thank you very much for just the year, and yeah, let's get into some news. Or you guys want to say thank you quickly?
Oh yeah, big thank you.
Hey, leave your pause.
It means everything to us,
Mhm.
and it truly does feel strange to think about like just the amount of people that are watching us and the people who try their best to like watch every single cast of ours every week. Like,
Shout out to Greg.
yeah, especially Greg.
And shout out to
#1
everybody
fan.
that shout us on or support us on Patreon. Even though this month someone unsubscribed, so that was great. But
Thank you for your time.
thank you for your time.
Thank you for your patronage.
Where you can get a bunch of exclusive content.
Yes.
You all good?
Yeah.
I talk about this podcast to so many people. I love to just rant about it and brag about it. I think like what
Brag about
brag about it, yeah, because I think what we do is great, and I don't think we're overhyping it whenever we talk about it, because I think we really deliver on what we do, and it's all because we were passionate about all this, and we love to do it for all you fans and everything, and so I mean, if eventually this turns into a full-time job, 100%, I'm down. This is great, and just to be able to tell people like, oh, we have so many like hits on like one episode.
Yeah.
I mean, it just feels great, and it's because of all you guys. So that's just a huge thank you, because it just, at least for me, like I feel proud. I know you guys feel proud of what we do, and it's been fantastic.
So yeah, 2018, hopefully another great year for us. We're excited to do. There's a bunch of stuff. We got Infinity War next year, folks.
We do.
That's
It's
gonna
not
be.
that far away either.
It's not May.
4
This
months.
guy's talking about Han Solo.
Han
over
Solo,
here.
yeah.
I don't think so, buddy. Well, you know what? You know what else we could?
Canceled.
You know what else we could talk about concerning Han Solo is the sequel to the movie that he just died in, The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty safe. You can talk about that now.
Yeah, if anyone's mad, you can go screw yourself. If you've not seen The Force Awakens and you're watching this video that is titled "Do Star Wars Fan Still Want the Rian Johnsons Trilogy?" and you're like, what? Han died? Come on. So what we're gonna talk about, because we talked about this a little off cast, we're gonna talk about two things. One, I want to talk about we didn't know in our review, but I think our review, we had myself that someone really liked it. We had Taylor and Kirkland who loved it, and then you had Tyler and Dylan who were disappointed. Minor spoilers, but go and listen to the review. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes. We get into every nook and cranny of that movie.
Almost too many nooks and crannies.
And I think we have some really great conversation about it. I'm proud it's our biggest episode of all time.
Yes.
But what we didn't, and I'm not gonna say a Travis told you moment. I didn't anticipate that, but I did think when we saw it, there's lots of stuff. Like I said, are we gonna talk about this without spoilers or not?
It's tricky.
No spoilers. Okay. I said there's gonna be certain moments in the movie that I think fans were not gonna like. Some decisions they made.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty abundant right now because there's a big mix right now of I would say, I guess it's controversial. I don't think it's controversial the same way like a BVS or even a Justice League is, but there's definitely I feel like Force Awakens came out and then you had just pretty much it was just a love fest, right? And I think after a few years people brought up some problems, this or that, but really there's a big honeymoon phase. Rogue One, I think it just kind of came out, people saw it, we kind of hate on it around Taylor, but I don't think there was a big it was just people saw it, I think enjoyed it.
It's because it wasn't like that bad. It was just like
And it was just
It was incredibly meh.
Yeah, and it was just a prequel, and it didn't. Even though I will say, for some reason, I decided to watch Rogue One last night, and I was actually starting to really like it. I don't know what's happening.
Really?
I fell asleep, so I have to continue to watch it. But that came out.
What scene did you fall asleep in?
I was trying to fall asleep, but it was right after Maz dies, so that's probably why.
Is that like the scene on the island?
Which
or like it's really dark with the sniper and stuff?
Yeah.
That's the scene I was thinking too.
It's something sleep inducing. They just put out pheromones. But either way, that came out, and I think people liked it, loved it. This is the first time we've had, probably since the prequels, where people have been out there saying not only like they don't like this movie, that they hate it. There is a lot of, which I'm showing my cards, I think a lot of hyperbole out there and whatnot. But why? It's going to be tough with spoilers, but do you think you put your finger on one thing, and then also, I can tie this in, 2 months ago, they announced, or a month ago, they announced that, Rian Johnson's going to do his own trilogy, right? Mm-hmm. And I think lots of people are really excited for two reasons. One, Rian Johnson's talented director, but two, I think everyone was like, oh, that must mean The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie of all time, and now that seems to be, for a lot of people, it's not.
So maybe because that announcement was before the movie, it got some of those people who are onto that kind of news, it got them hyped for, wow, this movie's going to be fucking sick if Disney's like, okay, let's sign this guy up for 3 more movies of like, our biggest franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I think one thing is, I look at it as like, what did Force Awakens introduce and what did this movie introduce? And I know Rian Johnson like worked on Force Awakens to some capacity, but I don't know, I look at the, like what he did with the stories and characters that were introduced in Force Awakens, and I can see why some people would be mad about like the direction. Something that I really want to say, but I can't really do it without spoilers. And then the other thing is like the things he introduced, like the things that are new to this movie, and like even Taylor, who really liked the movie, you still, particularly one character, like I didn't really like that character, and you kind of brush it off, but like that's a pretty big part of the movie that people don't really like. I'm
gonna put a time code. If you've not seen the movie, just skip ahead a little bit. We're gonna go maybe just 10-15 minutes on this, because there's a few things that I do want to throw out.
We need some spoilers.
So I will put in a time code. If you've not seen the movie, you can just jump ahead to that part. So I think that's the thing for me, because also you were referring to Rose, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing that is the tie-up, which I was surprised, because I was the same thing. I've not met a single person in person, and it was online people that like Rose. So when I was getting out there, I thought, other than decisions, people will bring that up and more. The thing that seems to be the crux is the Snoke thing, the Rey thing, and Luke. It's not like with the problems that all of us brought up that we had. Maybe I don't even know if Taylor had too many problems, but the things we brought up, like, oh, maybe this was the pacing wasn't good, writing wasn't good. That's where for me, I'm taking the people, the kind of the hate for the movie, like a little bit with a chip on their shoulder, because they're not really. There's people out there I understand that don't like it, and I think the same way I can use Dylan and Tyler as an example, where they were disappointed, maybe didn't like it that much, maybe don't even think it's the best movie or good movie, but I think we've seen a lot worse movies this year, especially doing the podcast.
Right.
And
I think the thing I should say is that I mean, if you didn't watch a review, is that I there is good stuff in this movie, and I liked, a lot of this movie as well. Yeah. But there is a lot of, in my opinion, garbage in there too. Yeah,
and that's the thing though, people aren't bringing up what I find to be maybe the garbage or bad moments. They're bringing up, do you feel, I guess I can just start with this, I'll bring up other stuff later. Do people, I don't know, everyone can be mad if they want to. Okay.
I'm trying to see where you're going with this, and I don't know exactly.
Should people be so mad at the Rey, the Luke, and Snoke thing to say these movies these levels are on a prequel
I think people are totally justified to be mad about the Rey thing. Okay. Because it's something
the parents thing?
Yeah. Because I think that's I'm kind of fine with it as it being maybe an anticlimax, but I can see how fans would be really disappointed by that, and they feel like they just got robbed of a really interesting story, and it kind of almost seems like, and really they only bring it up a couple times in the movie, but it almost seems like it was kind of like a lazy answer to that question or that storyline. So I can see why people are mad about it. Me personally, that's not actually something I disliked about the movie, even though I would say I disliked the movie. Yeah. So, but I can understand, I'm not on Twitter and stuff as much as you. I don't know what all these people are actually mad about, really, but
those are the things. It seems not even to be, like I said, it's not film stuff. It's not some people are. There's a lot of people, I won't say that, but it feels like the crux are this is not my Star Wars, this is that. And that's where
Right.
I throw in the prequel comparisons, because people are like, oh, this is like the worst since the prequels. And
Do you think some of the Rey thing comes from people who are super into it and they've been talking about it since Force Awakens came out, and they're like, I had a prediction on what's going to happen, and really, I don't know how many people were predicting that it was just going to be like...
Nobody.
That it was going to be like some alcoholics who just sold her for alcohol. Like, I don't think anyone really would have predicted that, except for one guy who's like, big popping off, and his stock just went up like 90%.
Well, that's the thing for me. I think that is a big crux. I think that's the same thing that me and Tyler had a discussion. That's why you should also check out the review of. I think for him, he had some negatives on the movie because he didn't get that big Luke moment either, right? Of like Luke being super badass, things like that. And I guess that's the thing about film. It's all subjective. Where for me, the Rey parents thing, not being parents, I think that is a good story because it's like, oh, parents are nobody. Luke doing his like hologram thing, that is a big power. So to me, I think some of it is that, hey, it didn't go my way.
Yeah.
I don't love this. And for me, the big thing that people have been showing up, and then I'll ask Taylor your opinion, have been what sparked this debate was, okay, so the Rotten Tomatoes score came out, it's like at a 93, so very high. The audience score came out was a 57, so it's rotten.
Yeah.
And then on Metacritic, it was rotten as well. And then IMDb, it was 80%, which is like 8.8. And the thing was, people were like, oh, look at this backlash, like fans are hating it, blah, blah. And I know there's some people, like Liam used to be on this podcast, me and him have been going at it for days because he fucking hates this movie. And I've been, I think, schooling him, but he'll never admit it. So people have been bringing this up, and that sparked this debate about, oh, do fans really dislike this movie? And the thing I gotta say for people that aren't like super film educated is I never trust anything that's IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes that is the critic or the critic score. I'm gonna sound like Taylor. Is the audience score, because before the movie even premiered for Last Jedi, it already had 23,000 votes. It didn't show those votes because the movie hadn't come out, but it had 23,000 votes. And the other thing that came out today is there's a big Facebook group that purchased a bunch of bots to go to Rotten Tomato and give it a negative review. And there's the biggest one as well, which is CinemaScore. CinemaScore is an actual company, or I guess a business that polls people when they walk out of the movie in North America. So that is your full-on, they have seen the movie, they have proof, they're real people, they do this opening weekend, it's in North America, it's scored an A, which is the second highest score you can get, which is the same as Force Awakens. So before I go to Taylor, people I think are trying to make this feel like, I feel like this is a problem. I feel like some people don't like Last Jedi, and they see that some people like it, and it's this thing again where it's like, it has to be the best thing or the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
So to me, lots of people are, hey, people won't hear me if I just say, hey, I didn't like it. So for me, I just feel like I see a lot of hyperbole of like, this is awful, this is that. But like, we talk about the prequels, there's no Kylo, Rey good stuff. There's no good acting.
Right.
The score is the best thing, honestly. The visuals are good, but like CGI heavy. You have terrible Sanda's coarse and rough dialogue. You have awful story. And that's why I've been trying to like steer the conversation. That's what I've been doing with Liam all week. I've been trying to, is like, I'm fine if you don't like it, and I guess I'm fine with you if you hate the whole, like you think it's the worst thing ever. But I feel like people can bring up, oh, there's this good moment, like, yeah, but then this thing happens. And it's like, that can make it a bad movie, but I don't think it's like the worst Star Wars movie of all time.
Well, I think that's why it's generating so much conversation, is because, well, for me personally, it's right in the middle.
Yeah.
I would put it literally right in the middle of all the movies. So obviously there's, that typically means there's a lot to talk about. If you have, whatever, 9 movies is it right now?
Well, and that's the thing, like me and Taylor have been joking about it the whole week, but like everyone after Force Awakens, their biggest complaint was, hey, they shouldn't follow a similar thing, right? This was, okay, you're waiting for the parents reveal, that doesn't happen. You're waiting for Kylo to turn good, that doesn't happen. Snoke dies. Some of these decisions, I can admit and agree with some people that, hey, maybe Snoke just being this one-note character, if he doesn't come back, yeah, maybe in the long run, not the greatest idea, but none of us, at least on the cast, I did not hear any of us say, oh, Snoke's gonna die. I was the guy saying, oh, I think Kylo might die, but I don't think many people thought, I think it's the same thing. You're saying there's one guy that's big chilling, big popping off, like, oh, I said Snoke, but I don't think Snoke was an idea in anyone's mind. So I think the movie takes risks, but I think that's what happens when it takes risks, because you're gonna like some of those risks and you're not, which I think we all, then I don't know about you, Taylor, but I think the rest of us like and dislike some of those risks, like the Finn and Rose, stuff like that.
But at the same time, like, some people don't, well, I should say most people don't sit down and like really have a big discussion about these things afterwards. Because I hated like 100% what they do with Snoke, but after the review and you guys like offered some perspective on why it's not necessarily like such a bad thing. I still don't like it, but I can understand like the positive side of it. Whereas some people would, just get out of the movie, think, oh, that character was awful, like that's a really bad villain, and then they don't talk to anyone about it, and then they just like go online and start like, Snoke sucks, this movie sucks, I hate this movie, 0%.
Weekend Warriors, which we've had before. Look at our Pod Bay reviews.
Pod Bay's rough.
When people don't understand some things, maybe they don't get it. Taylor, you've been quiet over there. Taylor, I feel like when we talk about Star Wars, you literally just sit there and pause. And
take over me anytime, because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I like to listen and think about your perspectives.
Because you're not a Twitter person, but you're a Facebook person. So how much have you seen much of the backlash on there? Yeah. So that's what is your take on all this?
I've seen probably, to one positive comment, there's 10 following it that are negative.
Really? I've not see on Twitter. It's definitely more like a 60. I'd say almost like a 70-30 positive. But the people that are the 30% are like the all caps people. They're like, oh.
All caps, yeah. And they seem to count as more than one.
Yeah. I just see so many people saying, this is one of my favorite Star Wars movies, and then other people, most of them saying, this is one of the worst, can't believe this is happening, it's garbage, and then other people saying and defending it, like, no, like, they're trying to do something different, this is a new direction, it's for a new generation, you gotta get your heads out of, like, a trash compactor and move forward, like, so,
nice.
I think,
did you think of that one?
I did. I think that...
You just stole credit from somebody.
I think that, for me personally, I love the movie. I've seen it twice. I'm trying to go see it a third time this week. I think it's sold out tomorrow.
It's probably a good thing that you have to try.
They won't let them in.
I personally, it. For me, it gets better with every time I've seen it so far.
You have only seen it twice.
Yeah, it got better. Got better. With Force Awakens, I didn't, it was good, but I didn't feel... It stayed the same. With this, it's just better. And, I mean, yes, Rogue One is still my #1 favorite, but Last Jedi... I mean, I feel like, you said it, like, they take the risks, like, everything that happened we weren't expecting, Snoke dying, the order of the film, Luke's dying, Yoda just popping in, like, there was good and there was bad for some people's, I guess.
I think, like, the Luke thing, that to me, I think everyone went in being like, I can't wait for that moment where he kills, like, 20 stormtroopers with a lightsaber, and for them not to do that, I think that is a huge risk, and... That's the thing, it's just if it paid off for you or not, right? Like, if you like that or not.
I think, you have all these, the Star Wars fans that grew up and they watched the original trilogy and they got to the point with Force Awakens where, finally we get to see Luke. Skip the prequels. Like, they want to know, like, we get to Force Awakens, but even then we didn't get any Luke action. And then you have the generation like us that grew up with the prequels and the original trilogy, and we got, like, the Clone Wars and thousands of Jedi fighting, and we get the original trilogy, and now we get to this point here where, like, we have Luke that's gonna say something, but we don't get to see what. I feel like for our generation, we're a little bit more level-headed in the sense where we can sit back and understand the direction, the perspective of this.
I think I might disagree with that, actually.
Really? Because I feel like a lot
of people our age are the ones, like, losing their mind about this, and it's like, man, you weren't even alive when fucking New Hope came out. Like, just calm down.
Really?
I think so. From what I see, I feel it's younger people. Because I feel like older people are just like, well, it's another Star Wars and that happened,
Really?
I feel like when we're on episode 12, we'll be like, we've seen this before. It's just Star Wars. Like,
a lot of the older people on Facebook that I've seen commenting just seem very disappointed with it, and it's the younger crowd.
Well, I can see that because they could be like, "Hey, this isn't." I could see from almost like comedic ass points, like, "Hey, this isn't my Star Wars anymore." But like, it's not. Like, it's not. Like, that's the point. Like, it shouldn't be the same as the OG trilogy, right? Like, that's Lucas. This is JJ, Ryan, then JJ again. So when people do say it's different, yeah, it is, and maybe this round isn't for you. I've said that with most of DC movies. That's why I'm kind of fine with them if they do reboot, because I've accepted, I'm going to go see them all, but this take is just not for me. Like I said with All Man, Still Not, I like that people love those movies, but other than Wonder Woman, I'm like, well, this iteration's just not for me. And that can happen. It's the same thing with Rogue One for some people, right? This one's just not for me. And I think people, they should... I guess the problem is it's the Luke thing, I think. I think the other stuff they could forgive. I think with them, it's their ties to Luke and the OG trilogy. That's tough for them, but... At the end of the day, it's
with the Luke, is it more about his death and how he dies, or is it... Because if you look at, like, character moments, like, he gets a scene with Yoda, which is unexpected. He gets... he gets one scene with R2, I would have liked more.
Yeah.
And he gets a scene with Carrie Fisher, or Leia, and he gets a lot with Rey, who is your, like, new, like...
Yeah.
poster child, whatever.
It's the death and the why wasn't like he more of a badass in a way. And to me,
Right.
it's like I feel like him being badass Luke would have been like super easy to write. Like it would, and even though I know you don't love the island stuff, but I still like that he is like you can tell he's like a damaged, worn, torn guy. If he just still would have been like cool, like that wouldn't have fit with the story they told of like. Hey, he almost killed Kylo.
Yeah,
and
wouldn't have seemed like all these years have passed.
Yeah, he would just seem like, oh, cool, he's still here. And you kind of got the cool Luke in the hologram form, right? Like, I think that's what it is. I think people just want to see him throw AT-ATs and like it's like I guess yeah, but like I don't like I'll take the substance over the style any day. And I feel like that's what they tried to go with Luke. Maybe it didn't work for you, and that's fine. But I feel like they tried to go for that. Even with the death, some people are like, oh, it's so anticlimactic, it's this and that. But it's like. I don't know. We've seen that happen before. It's a peaceful.
It was more about a character development as opposed to a like an adventure or a big story of various events
and like we talked about like with this trilogy. This isn't his story anymore. Like really, we got that, but it's like it's these new characters' story. You know, his story is pretty like closed off at the end of the OG trilogy. They add some stuff, but that's why he was. I'm not counting in Force Awakens. He was in one movie because it's like, oh, they're closing that story. So then in 20 years, they're not like, hey, I wonder what happened to Luke Skywalker. Oh, I don't know. They should do a movie. Like now that's done. You know.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, you know. It's very much similar, like I said in the spoilers review. It's like Yoda. I mean, people didn't expect Yoda when in Empire Strikes Back to have this huge like fight scene or whatever. I mean, they introduced like, oh, there's a Jedi Master. Go see him, and Luke goes to see him, and it's Yoda. Yeah. Who's supposed to be like hundreds of years old, who's super powerful and everything. He doesn't do an ultimate fight scene. He has a very anticlimactic death. He just goes to sleep, and he
lifts a ship.
And he lifts a ship. I mean, that's it. But I mean, when Luke does it, but at least has a bit more of a badass like ending with that.
He still has like a semi fight scene. Like sure he doesn't hit anybody, but it's still like it's an action scene, right? So and he's doing cool flippy shit in it. He's not just like
Jedi flips.
The last thing I want to say before we get to the question of this is like I think I've said a lot of stuff that I don't want to make it feel like if you love this movie, if you like it, if you hate it, you're all entitled to your opinion. Yeah. My whole thing is my two goals with this podcast has always been one, to make it feel like friends are talking, and for movies, the second one would be I want to, and many other people are like this, so I'm not original, I want to bridge the gap between no longer this is the best thing ever or the worst thing ever. This year I've thrown a lot of 10s out, so you could call me that. But I've also thrown like, hey, Kong Skull Island, I'll give that a 5. Where I could feel someone that could dislike the same things that me go, oh, it's an awful movie, 1 or 2. Like, I try to still, I throw lots of 6s, I throw lots of 7s. Like, there's still movies that are just good or okay, and just because that's what I think the problem is.
Movies are, right?
I think that's the problem with this, that for some people the movie might just be good or okay. Like, people to me that bring up, hey, I loved Luke, Kylo, and Rey stuff, but then like I hated everything else, and they say it's a bad movie. For me, I don't understand how, even if there's one thing you can love in a movie, how it's a bad movie. You can still, we did The Room a couple weeks where we talked about that. Yeah, it's a bad movie, but is it really a bad movie if we like...
Well, The Room's an exception. That's a different tier
But
of movie.
It's still like, if you love even one thing about a movie, it did something right for you, right? And that's, for me, it's like this tearing down. If you do think it's the worst movie, and I say, hey, did you like the Kylo stuff? No. Did you like Luke? No. Then it's like, okay, you really hate this. But for me, I can't get the correlation of like, I loved all this stuff in this action scene, but because Luke died this way, it's the worst Star Wars movie ever. And that's where I just want, maybe you don't do critical reviews and you don't really think about movies that way, but if you do, just think about that, or next time someone talks about it, it says like, oh, that was the worst movie ever. Ask them why. If they hate everything, great, but if challenge them on it.
You should ask them reasons,
Well, yeah, you should, because...
And they're like, oh, fuck you, and then let's leave.
Well, that's what happens.
Maybe throw their drink in your face.
That's what happens a
lot.
Might
be worth it.
Now we're posting this, Dylan, you asked us off-cast, with this, not only bring in the fans, but also your personal thing. Taylor, you touched on this a bit, but do you think people, and even yourself, how are you feeling about this new trilogy after seeing Last Jedi? You can talk about yourself first, but then also talk about, like, how do we think like fans overall are feeling about this?
Well, I'm split on it, just like I was in the movie, because I look at, where he took this movie and the things I liked and the things I didn't like. And so if I look at the two things I really like this movie are Rey and Kylo, which I don't know. He didn't make those characters, right? And he I don't know. I guess he worked on Force Awakens, but either way, it's JJ's movie.
Minorly though, he just saw the script and was kind of like, oh yeah, that looks good. That was more just JJ.
Right. Yeah. So like he didn't make those characters, and even though I like those characters in this movie, I don't know if he was necessarily the reason I like those characters. Like obviously he directed this movie, but
he wrote it too.
Right? Yeah. But I mean, like, I don't know. I think you could have done a lot of things with those characters, and I still probably would have liked their progression, and unless it was done like really poorly or something.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, it's good. Like he made those characters, like they had solid dialogue, and I like their stories and the two of them together, but he didn't really make those characters. And the two big characters, I should say, he introduced, I say big because of their screen time, were major flops in my opinion. And one of them really worries me, Rose, because it's like a classic tacked on storyline or love storyline for no reason. And so it makes me worried, like, okay, is he gonna throw some love story in this trilogy just because he thinks there needs to be a love story there, or is it actually gonna have purpose and like solid characters on their own right? Whereas Rose, like, what is her purpose? Well, she's there to be Finn's love interest. Like that's her only purpose. Yeah, maybe she has like some one-liner that he really wanted, and he's like, I don't know how to fit this in. I'm gonna make a new character.
Kylo can't say this.
And justify the whole thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are, I don't know, a couple concerns. The other thing for me is like the humor didn't really work at all. Like very little, like maybe 10% or less.
Wow.
And so if that kind of continues and he uses as much humor in those movies, the trilogy movies, as much as he does in this one, I don't know if I'm gonna like that.
Yeah.
And because I feel like sometimes it's humor for the sake of like, oh, okay, I need like 10 jokes in this movie, and he's like, okay, I gotta check these off, as opposed to like that's what the character would do, or that fits the moment or the mood or what you're trying to do with this movie. But it's hard. I don't like, what other movies has he done?
Looper. If you've seen Looper, I don't think you've seen any of them. Brick and Brothers Bloom.
Right. So
Looper, you should really watch. Looper is his claim.
I've seen like a bit of Looper, but I should give it a watch.
And he did a lot of like the really praised Breaking Bad episodes as well.
Right.
People really good for that. So
I guess like I don't want to. I'm not gonna say that I'm like gonna hate his trilogy or anything, but to me, there's definitely I'm gonna see them all, right? But there's definitely some warning signs for me. But who knows? Maybe he'll see like maybe there's other people who have those same opinions on things that I didn't like, and maybe he'll see that and think about those and maybe take that into account when he's making this trilogy. And I don't know, maybe that can alter how he wants to make these movies and what he wants as like a Star Wars movie. Because if you look at like cinematography and the soundtrack, I think was really well done, and it fit Star Wars. It really feels like a Star Wars movie. It still
felt like Star Wars.
So he nailed that aspect of it, and he nailed some characters as well. He had some really good characters, and even like I think he did well, like Leia in that movie. He did well with that character.
Yeah.
I still think it's interesting that he decided not to end that character storyline, but whatever. I mean, he did well with some of these old characters too. So.
And what I also ask you are how these people that really, really hate The Last Jedi and their choices, how open do you think they're going to be to this?
I guess, well, here's the thing. The thing is, it's a few years down the road before we're going to get the first one.
2020, I bet.
Yeah.
Still way off. 2021, like I bet.
I guess that's not that far if you consider how far apart the originals and then the prequels and then finally got this trilogy, but it's still enough years that I think, I mean, obviously this phase right now when people are going all over the place and they're like, this is the worst movie or this is best, that's still because we're less than a week of this movie coming out, and eventually those opinions are going to simmer out and people are going to see the movie multiple times and their opinions are going to change, and I don't know, maybe that'll make them even more mad. I don't know. If you're already at 0, how do you go below that unless you're just being unrealistic?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I want to watch this movie again too now, just because I want to. I want to go and see.
Or do you not want to see it in the theater?
Like tomorrow, Chief Tuesday?
No. Like just a Chief Tuesday in the next.
At some point.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd love to do that because I want to see this movie from like other people's perspectives and
now
look at the things that I really didn't like and think about it from start to finish. And I think a few years down the road when this trilogy actually kicks off, those people who hated it, those people who felt rather similar to me, and maybe the people who have loved it, they're all gonna maybe have seen the movies more and they'll have like a better opinion. And I mean that also gives Rian Johnson a lot of time. Like he's probably already thinking about. Obviously, he's already thinking about what he's gonna do with this trilogy.
Yeah.
So by the time that comes out, like okay, he's gonna have worked on the script for like years probably. So who knows? Maybe it'll be amazing.
Yeah.
I want to like Star Wars more than I do because it's the best thing in the world to be a Star Wars fan because you have like an infinitive amount of content and you have already like 5 or 6 movies more confirmed. Being a Star Wars fan is the best thing ever. So I want to get to that point,
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna just do it.
You're a Marvel fan, so you got that going too. They're never gonna stop making Marvel movies.
That's true.
We got that in the bag. I want to do quick 4 points. My first point is, as just a general going movie guy, if you announce, hey, this director that I like, who Looper I think is one of the best sci-fi films of the past decade, is going to make a Star Wars trilogy, and I liked his Last Jedi movie, yep, I'm good. Sign me up. So that's like the quick take.
Yeah.
The one where I'm very similar to Dylan, where I am mixed on it, because I liked and I gave the movie like an 8 out of 10, because for me it was, the highs were so high that it got me there. But the things, like Dylan did bring up, other characters that he introduced, and maybe what he did with those side characters, that's the thing. And the comedy, it's tough to me with these, and even with Marvel movies sometimes, when these movies are made in such a machine, and I've talked about this before, right? Marvel and Disney is like the restaurant who brings in chefs to put out a new spice, but they're always making the same dish, right?
Have you said that?
I did when we talked about DC on the Justice League review.
Yeah.
Go check out Justice League review. That's how I feel like. It's a kitchen that's always making the same stuff, but they bring in a Dylan and a Taylor Travis to do a different side, right? And that's what the directors are. So that's the thing of how much is that his comedy and how much is that, hey, you need to have this comedy in it.
Yes.
How much is that we need a romance? You know, that's the problem with all these movies, and we'll never know. Even when he does his trilogy, it still might be like that, right?
Of course,
How much is it a give and take? If you want to make a Star Wars movie, you got to do this, this, and this, because all Star Wars movies feel the same.
Yeah, like what if he wanted to make Rey evil, but Disney's like, nope.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, you have to play in their sandbox, right? It's like, it always is a boss, but that is a big boss. You are there to do a job and try and do it well. And that's where I think he did it well. The stuff that I love is, you can talk about the characters he didn't introduce, but I would feel, because he wrote it, I have to think that he came up with that idea of the Force talking, right? And to me, that's something that's never been done. That was so easy how come nobody had thought about that at that point? It just seems like such a simple thing. So if there's stuff that his cons that I can say he wrote, like the Rose and the comedy, that also take his pros of, you know what, this Force stuff he did really well with. We have no idea yet what this trilogy still is. Mm-hmm. It could have a lot to do with, if it is a prequel, Old Republic, a lot to do with like maybe the first Jedi or first Sith user. So he's already experimented with that Force stuff. So that's a good thing. And the thing is, I'm hoping that you sign on to direct this movie, and I said this in the review, maybe he really loved that Luke, Kylo, and Rey storyline, but then he's also like, well, I still have to do these other characters, right? And maybe he's honestly just not that passionate about them, right? So you are in a tough spot where, and he could be watching this, be like, man, I love those characters, fuck you. But if it's not, I just feel like from the movie, I feel like he cares more about this story than he does about these ones, right? More attention and care was taken to that one. So that's what I'd maybe be open to the trilogy. I already am open to it, but more that hoping that, okay, if he starts it, he gets to introduce everything he likes, right? None of it's filler, none of it's something like, I gotta take over from JJ or Disney, right?
Exactly.
And the rumor is he says he's directing the first one, he's writing all 3, and he says he's deciding if he directs 2 or 3. I think 100% he's going to direct 2 or all of them. He's going to pull Lucas, especially if it reviews well. So I think if having a trilogy also that is all the same guy, I'm not opposed to that. I know lots of people like the switch. They did that with their original trilogy, but I like when Nolan did all Batmans. I'm sorry about Dark Knight Rises, but I like when people do that, because I like when Peter Jackson did all Lord of the Rings, because whether it's good or bad, it was their vision pretty much, other than Rises.
It feels more cohesive.
Yeah, where this is, people are debating, like, oh, did JJ, did they change this, and, JJ introduced this stuff, and we didn't do that. That's the thing I hate. Until JJ comes out, can we stop using fucking JJ other than joke-wise? Because people are like, man, he just took JJ stuff and threw it out. What if JJ had the idea, like, oh, we're going to have this fun thing where people think Rey's parents are big, and it's not. Or Ryan's like, hey, what if we do this? And JJ's like, that's great. Like, they're nobody. That's awesome. I hate the scapegoat of, people like, oh, JJ, when fucking 6 months ago everyone was complaining, JJ can't direct episode 9. Like, he'll do the same thing over. So it's like, though that's, my fourth take is, unlike any other trilogy, Michael Bay, I don't like his Transformers movie, so if he announces, hey, I'm going to go direct a new trilogy of Transformers, a new trilogy of this, I'm not going to watch it. Fans will be the same. With Star Wars, you're going to watch it. Star Wars, Marvel, DC, well, maybe not DC,
no,
Justice
not
League
DC,
kind of.
They don't have that privilege anymore.
Yeah.
They've burned that one.
Yeah. But I don't think even the fans that hate Rian Johnsons Last Jedi with a passion, they're going to go see the trilogy just to even be like, oh, so I can hate on it. And you know what? They might go with the intention to hate it and might like it. So that's the thing with
Disney's cool with that.
With Star Wars, even Marvel, I could even put that down. I think Star Wars is the one franchise that 100% is now bulletproof for unless they had a string of really bad prequels, right?
Yeah.
If they made 9 more prequels, we'd be like, eh. But this was the second biggest opening of all time. It only finished 15 million less than Force Awakens. That shows how little so many people did not like Force Awakens and come back. That's huge. Only 4 movies have crossed 200 million opening weekend. It's fucking phenomenal. It's almost at 500 million in 3 days. It's crazy. Justice League just hit like 600 million last week. Like, that puts it in perspective, like, how big Star Wars is. So, Rian Johnson's New Trilogy, you can complain and bitch all you want. You're gonna go see it. Whether it's on Netflix, whether it's at the theater, you're gonna go and watch. Taylor, what do you feel about all this? Because you said...
Remind me exactly what the question was.
How do you feel about the trilogy? Which you kind of answered the review, because your opening statement on the review, you said that you were so excited for the trilogy.
It was a very bold claim.
Yeah, but how are you feeling about how it's gonna progress now with this... I will be generous and say mixed. It's the same way people go, oh, that mixed reaction of BVS. Yeah, the fucking 20% of Rotten Tomatoes is super mixed. Mixed is a weird word nowadays. But the mixed reaction to Last Jedi.
So I'm just my opinion of what I think of him having his own trilogy. I'm trying to follow.
Okay.
I just need to know exactly what the question is, because
it doesn't matter.
How do you feel about the
now? I'm like, what do you mean by mixed? Like
the mixed term of okay, mixed. 2018, get here quick. The mixed reaction of Last Jedi.
Okay.
Obviously the review. You just said you cannot wait to see his trilogy, right?
Yeah.
So you can expand on that, but you don't need to answer that again.
Okay.
How does the so-called mixed reaction, or these fans that extremely dislike this movie, whatever the reasoning is, how does that affect the trilogy? Because we did a Cantina conversation.
Okay.
I feel like when it was announced, everyone was excited. Dylan touched upon that, where people probably got super hyped for Last Jedi because they're like, oh, they're giving them 3 movies. This must be good. So how do you feel this affects it now?
You know, we have like 2 to 3 years probably before it's released, obviously, or maybe even before it's announced. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of this negativity is going to be flushed away. I think when JJ comes back and whatever he does, I think people are going to... As soon as that first teaser drops for episode 9, whatever...
He's making a Snoke trilogy.
Episode 10. No, episode 9.
The prequel? The Snoke prequel?
Snoke, a Star Wars story.
Yeah, no, as soon as episode 9's title drops and that teaser comes out, I think everyone's going to forget about all the
Not
problems.
episode 9. I said Rian Johnson's trilogy.
Yeah, I know, but
No,
this is hear me out.
Okay.
As soon when Rian Johnson is going off to do his trilogy, everyone is going to lose their negative thoughts as soon as JJ drops the trailer for episode 9. Then when everyone goes to see Rian Johnson's
Ewok straight back.
When everyone goes to Rian Johnson's trilogy after that, I think everyone's gonna be riding off the hype of JJ's work, obviously, or whatever. I think people are gonna go back and look. Maybe Last Jedi wasn't so bad because it was leading in to what JJ was doing with episode 9. I think it's just gonna... Whatever JJ does, I think it's going to help balance out the negativity a little bit.
Balance out the Force?
Balance out the Force. Because the
what
two
about
of them...
Han Solo?
Han Solo, that's its own thing.
We don't talk about that.
But I feel like whenever that teaser drops for Rian Johnson's trilogy, I think people are going to be excited. First of all, because it's nothing to do with the Skywalkers. It's going to be its own timeline. That we know of, yeah. It's going to be its own thing, its own
Sky
timeline.
Runners.
Just Luke on the island.
He gets his own creative, path in that sense, where he can basically come up with these new characters, and I feel like he's gonna have learned a lot from what he's seen and the feedback from this movie, and maybe what the fans do want and what they don't want, especially the romance.
He did say though, and I'll give him credit because I asked him about the reaction, and he said he was writing the script to Last Jedi while Force Awakens was filming because he had seen the script, and he said that after it came out he saw all these theories and whatnot, but he went in writing Last Jedi of not what would fans want, what would make a good story. That was his quote in the thing. And I gotta give him credit because easily after this you could buckle me oh, I'm sorry guys, but he just said he's I don't want to poo-poo on fans making theories. He said some people took that as he on purpose was writing it to troll fans. He said he didn't that was not his intention to be oh, Snoke theories. Well, guess what? He's nobody. He just wrote it because he thought that would be good. He even had said this. He said he wrote the Snoke thing because he said that would be good for Kylo going into episode 9. I'd have to find all his quotes, but he said a lot of good stuff. And the humor, he said he put in because he was always reminded of the humor in Star Wars and Empire when they made little wisecracks. I think he took a different type of humor. I think it's a bit more out there, where I feel like Han Solo just saying smart ass stuff is not the same as Poe's oh, is General Hux there? General Hux. Like, I feel like the humor is very different, but again, like, he's not really backing down, which I kind of give him credit for that, even though he's no reason to back down. He says he has like the second biggest movie all time.
He's got a lot of money in the bank right now.
Yeah, I don't care.
I definitely didn't mind his humor at all in the movie, and I mean, the main thing for me is just I'm excited to see what part of like the timeline he's gonna go with.
Mm-hmm.
That's really my only thing. Like I stand by it. I think he should be given his own trilogy. I think what he did with Last Jedi was absolutely fantastic.
Taking a stand.
I think, even though the fans are upset with how the story went and what happened with these characters, you can't deny the fact that Rian Johnson throughout the whole movie left you not able to predict what was going to happen, excited and surprised at every turn throughout that movie. And I think that makes an absolute amazing director, and I don't see why those reasons he's being called out on as making a piece of garbage film. I think, that's what a director wants to do with a movie. You want a surprise, you want to be unpredictable, and you want to have a good story and good development. And I think he hit all those points right on the nose, and I feel like that's exactly what I don't know. I don't know why he should not get his own trilogy. So
Don't worry. I don't think they're gonna take. I don't think it's gonna be a Colin Trevorrow like, oh, he's not directing his own. I think they're gonna let him do.
The one thing I'll say on that is like, yeah, you can be surprising, but like, you gotta have a reason for it. You can't just be surprising for the sake of being surprising. Like killing Snoke without really developing that character at all is like, yeah, I didn't expect that at all. But I don't think that makes it inherently good, right? It's like, okay, like this character, so you're content with this being a really lousy character, even though it's built up in Force Awakens. Like
I wouldn't expect you to stab yourself in your eyes with your keys right now, but like that wouldn't be a good thing, Like
it'd be a surprise though.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be. I wouldn't want you to do that to yourself,
I think that is a good point, but I don't know. There's got to be some asterisks on it.
Some balance.
Got to be some balance.
Well, anything to say on that? That was an unintentional bread and butter topic, really.
Well, the only thing I'll say is if you guys want more of that conversation, these two did a hour-long podcast pretty much talking about that. That was before Last Jedi, so there's a little bit different opinion, but I listened to it, and it was really interesting. For someone, especially like me, who isn't all into the Star Wars news and stuff, you guys offered some perspectives and some fan theories that I didn't really think of, so go check that out.
Cheap plug by Dylan Musk for Cantina Conversations, but what are you?
Do you have any water?
You can get a glass and then fill the fridge. Taylor just all of a sudden just started
He's
looking
never
around
done this before in a podcast. He traditionally like I'll ask everyone like who wants a glass of water. Taylor usually accepts it offer about 10% of the time, and he's never left the room to go get it.
Why couldn't you use just any random glass?
There's a lot of glasses in there.
Oh my god!
Just use this water?
No, there's water in the fridge. I filled it up. Doesn't matter. This is
the alien.
This is the last. This is what you can expect from the last newscast of 2017. But no, I think that was a good conversation. Check out that. Yeah, we talked about what the films could be. And honestly, if you like this is going to be the end of the Star Wars Last Jedi spoilers. Check out our review. We got into everything. If you want to know why we didn't like Rose, we got into it. If you want to know, I don't know. If you want to know it all.
Oh, we talk about everything. I can't think of something I mean, there might be a little.
We did talk about R2D2, which I forgot. That's
there is no R2D2.
But
I mentioned that they cheaped out on him. It's in there.
I was mad. I personally did not mention the "Help Me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Your Only Hope." I'm mad because that almost made me cry. So
I have another thing to shut up. You know what Tyler said he didn't like the scenes
I'm gonna call him out, but he's not here.
With Luke's vision or like Kylo Ren's scene. Yeah. Well, rewatching that and after reading a little review on it, each scene is completely different. You see a different perspective. Like each Luke is completely different in each scene. His stance is completely different, and his
what is
his stance
and
his facial his stance and his facial expression.
They are different, yeah.
They are. So it's displaying that a different perspective, like one out of like anger, fear, or like sadness, like all these different things. When it wasn't just like literally replaying the same thing. There's a little more depth to that. So not that I'm calling out Tyler.
There you go, Tyler.
You should call him out.
Fuck you, Tyler.
That was a little.
The Pod Bay fan is
right. Let's get on to another thing that Taylor just loves. So what we're going to be doing for this next little bit, there'll be some newer news, but really we're just going to put a closure on 2017. What do you keep looking behind?
I left the fridge open, I'm sorry.
Jesus
Christ. You'd be sorry because you didn't actually leave the fridge open.
Just want to double check you.
We're going to talk about everything we've missed the past few weeks because we had a lot of reviews and whatnot, and this is like a closure of 2017 because we won't be doing a newscast. We'll be talking about 2018 stuff when it happens. So some of this news will be a little old, but you know what? It's worth conversations because it's going to be, I think, some fun stuff. But I don't know if we're going to have fun watching this movie, Jurassic World.
Jurassic World.
Another thing Taylor loves. Taylor, you know what? Let's start high. What did you think about this? The very was it a teaser or was it a trailer? What are they marketing as?
It's got to be a trailer.
Definitely a full trailer.
It feels like a teaser though. I feel like I didn't see anything that of importance.
But there's a lot of scenes, and it's like 2
of
minutes.
the same stuff.
Well, a lot of explosions and dinosaurs, but.
Yep.
To be honest, I'm so excited to see, first of all the new dinosaurs. Carnotaurus, Baryonyx, classic T-Rex making a comeback. There was all this great
comeback.
stuff.
Wasn't he just in the last movie?
No, that was an Omnigon or whatever they
That
call
was the T-Rex making his comeback again.
But again,
comeback, sorry.
hasn't a T-Rex been in every Jurassic Park movie?
Different T-Rexes.
No, but
T-Rye.
And wasn't Jurassic World that had the OG?
Yeah, and this is the OG one making a comeback.
It's not a comeback.
Yeah, they could have killed it off though.
I can't win.
Okay,
I can't win.
No,
I wish I still love dinosaurs as much as you do.
I love dinosaurs. It's my plan to still be a paleontologist.
Cool.
I don't know if
That's
happened.
still your plan.
Wait,
That's actually the
is
first
that your
I've
plan
heard
or
about
your
it.
dream? I think those are two.
Yeah,
I think it's an important distinction.
Trying to turn into
Are you going to school for it?
no.
Well, that would be.
I think you're doing bad at the planning, but the dream can still live.
No, I think this movie is just it touches on my like nostalgic young self.
Were you 16-year-old when it touched you?
16-year-old dragons. I think that
Is that in the bloopers? 16-year-old dragons. I think that's off cast.
It is. Well,
You have to infer what that joke is about.
Yeah,
as a fan.
we'll explain it on the
one
bloopers
point.
episode.
Yeah.
I feel like I mean Jurassic World was just so much hype built up for it. Just kind of in a similar sense of Force Awakens. It was a long time. It was just a comeback and so much popularity surrounding it, nostalgia. I definitely see where this film could do. It could run into some issues because some of the humor doesn't slide off very well, and it's just it runs into some problems, I guess. With the way the story looks like it's going. They're going back to the island, and the volcano is all of a sudden erupting on a theme park. That you think
that's pretty poor planning.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So, but I mean,
I never thought about that. That's an awful idea. That is whoever. Yeah, that's an awful idea.
John Hammond or
John
whatever.
Hammond. It comes down, to just it's movie magic in that sense. It makes the story go. So
makes the story go.
I can overlook it. I think it's cool.
Yeah, you can.
I'm just, at the end of the day,
Taylor overlook.
I just want to see dinosaurs on the big screen. I can't think of another movie that has like legit dinosaurs in this sense, and it's badass.
I don't have an example for you.
I think it's pretty low, the ratio of dinosaur movies. I think Jurassic Park kind of has the real estate on that.
Yeah, so
Pretty extinct
when I
genre. If you know what I mean.
when I went online, I saw lots of people.
I have
that
one bad
were,
joke per episode. That's mine.
Lots of people are all like, Jurassic Park. I'm definitely gonna see this movie. It's great. And other people were like, wow,
Jurassic Park?
Jurassic World, Fallen
I'm
Kingdom.
like,
This movie's
you're
great.
ear to the ground while Jurassic Park was coming out on Facebook.
I think you were like, oh, new Jurassic Park's coming out. It's good. It's great. It's like, wait, how do you already know it's great?
It's not been the first time I called out on that. It's just habit. I call it Jurassic Park. I like that more than Jurassic World.
Oh,
The name,
shots
not
fired
the-
by
not
Rian
the-
Johnson, whoever directs this movie.
Colin
Colin
Trevorrow.
Trevorrow,
The
yeah.
guy got fired from episode 9.
Yikes.
Um,
Oh yeah, true. He got canned.
Full
Trash
circle.
compactor. So.
But that being said, I'm more than happy for this movie. My excitement levels are peaked, and it's just
Really peaked just from this trailer.
that ending when the Carnotaurus just gets stomped on and the T-Rex bites
Wow.
into its neck and it's just
wow.
asserting itself as like queen.
No! Don't say that! He bites his neck and he's inserting.
Asserting.
I thought he said inserting. I was like, wow.
He's inserting himself. I'm gonna have to make some late additions to the bloopers episode.
I 100% thought you said inserting. Those are my mind is that.
Jurassic World 2 tackling puberty this time going around.
Coming of age.
Oh, literally.
Well, I'm excited for the characters too, though.
Afterthought.
Yeah.
What did I think of this trailer? It looked like a Michael Bay movie, I guess.
Oh,
There's a lot of explosions, and there was dinosaurs, which are two things that Michael Bay has tackled with before. To be
He's
fair, I
done it
haven't seen.
once.
To be fair, I haven't seen that movie where he did both those things in one.
Yeah.
So maybe it'd be my favorite movie of all time. Unlikely, but possible.
Very unlikely.
I can't really remember what I truly thought of Jurassic World. It's been a while now. I remembered it was okay enough, and I at least had fun watching it. But was it a great movie to stand the test of time? Well, probably not. This movie, on the other hand, I mean, it still has Chris Pratt. So either way, I think it'll be a fun enough experience, and dinosaurs are cool. So
I felt like you were starting to sour on Chris Pratt, but then Guardians 2 happened. He's back in your good books for some reason.
When was he soured?
I think when Passengers were coming out, you were kind of talking about like, Chris Pratt, he kind of is the same all the time, which is.
Did I say that?
I think so. I remember.
I want you to find some proof.
I'll try. I'm not being a big hater, but I think you're just kind of like, we know what we're gonna get with them. It's not anything too exciting. But now you're back.
I don't know if because to me he's in the realm of Paul Rudd, Chris Pratt. He's in the.
Really? Wow, that's pretty.
I don't know.
High.
I think they're kind of like just like very charismatic dudes who are like funny and.
I will try my
They're
best.
so charismatic that I'll say it twice. He's very charismatic.
I will try my best as a new father to try and find a 30-second clip. So, meaning you probably won't get that to my daughter.
I'll trash talk my earlier self for saying that, but yeah, I don't know. I think him being on screen is generally a good thing. I actually haven't seen Passengers, so I don't know. I might have been just talking about the trailer, but that wouldn't really have soured my opinion in this way, but. Story-wise, I don't know. It looks like the classic world ending. I mean, I guess it's only really an island ending, but it's the classic stakes are cranked up to the maximum. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that is, or if it just feels like they're doing that to add intensity. But
are you glad those kids aren't in it?
There's another kid in it though.
Yeah, but the other two kids.
I would say I'm glad they're not in it. Yeah. I don't know, this trailer...
Why is there a kid on the island still? Why do they keep fucking bringing young adults or kids to the island?
Because kids offer the creative inspiration.
Of course.
They're kids would be like, why is this on a volcano? That seem like a bad idea. Whereas, some business guys people are gonna think that's sweet.
It's that kid's idea to save more teeth to get the T-Rex out there, Save the day.
Yeah. I don't know, I mean, there's one trailer in, it seems like it's more about actions and explosions as opposed to characters, which I'm not a big fan of, but I mean, it's just a trailer, and that's not too atypical for a trailer to just show some really high intensity action scenes. So
first trailer too. So
yeah, I would say that, I don't know, it doesn't really get me any more excited for the movie, but I wasn't really that excited in the first place, so I guess I'm just big cruising still.
Yeah, I would say I'm down on this movie. I like Jurassic World. There's a lot of people that hate it, and I do get it. That's a movie that I've watched, and every time I watch it gets worse and worse. I remember it being almost like Force Awakens levels when I saw it the first night, and then once people point some stuff out, and I saw it again. Then one time I saw it at a drive-thru and I fell asleep, and that's when you know it's bad, when you see it at a drive-thru and you fell asleep. So I am not that excited for this movie. Jurassic World,
Isn't it called a drive-in as opposed to a drive-thru?
Nope. It's a drive-in. Jurassic World, I was very excited because it had that Force Awakens wheel of we haven't got one in a while, yada yada yada. This is very much like the other ones. I feel like Jurassic Park is still a franchise, still a movie that does not need a sequel. There's nothing to do in it. The antagonists, the things are dinosaurs. That's a different Star Wars. You can create new characters, create new planets, this and that. Yeah, you can create new dinosaurs, but we saw what happened there, and people shit all over that. So, and that's one of the things people hated about Jurassic World, was this dinosaur who could just do anything because of plot armor. So, I actually thought Jurassic World was a perfect ending of okay, you did the park, the animals still took over, they were reigning supreme, there's just that last shot of the T-Rex roaring over its whole park while the dinosaurs are free. It's oh, perfect, they're free, that's a great ending. I thought it could have ended there, that would have been fantastic. So the trailer is nothing special, it's an action movie. I think they could touch on something special when they talk about, oh hey, do these creatures have the same rights as animals should, the animal cruelty and everything like that, should we be rounding them up, should we be killing them, this and that. If we keep them around, are we just going to get, will we become extinct this time? There's lots of good questions they pose in these trailers through dialogue that Jeff Goldblum's saying. I just don't think that's going to be the movie. I think they're going to kind of try to pull you in with that as something different, but really it's just going to be a big chase, run away from the volcano thing. I hope that maybe happens earlier in the movie, but at the same time,
that'd be interesting.
The thing that I fucking hate, this is maybe my least favorite movie trope of all time. I'm going to take this belt off because it keeps coming. Oh, hey.
He's going to insert himself into this.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to insert myself into 2018. My least favorite movie trope maybe of all time is not the, running up the stairs from the killer or the phone's not working or anything like that. It's when two people fall in love or they get together at the end of the movie, and then the sequel, we gotta start with them broken up and we're gonna do the same thing over again. That's what's happening in Jurassic World of like Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. Why can't you just make the script that, hey, they're still together, she's gonna go on this adventure, and of course he would come with her because he knows dinosaurs and they're in love. Why do we need to do this whole, oh, you're doing ventriloquist, you like dummies? Like, the whole movie's going to be the exact same with them quipping back and forth, talking about how it didn't work out the first time, and then they'll end up together. I hope the movie actually goes and they'll be like, yeah, thank God we're still not dating because we're a terrible couple. Like, stuff like that. But it's not gonna. It's the biggest trope of all time in sequels is characters breaking up and then just getting right back together. Yeah. And it's so annoying. And we know
like wasted time.
Yeah, we know what's gonna happen. If it doesn't, I'll applaud them and remember this for the review. But like, I'm not looking forward to the exact same like movies and quips with these two, and I hate that. So that already has me going in ready to like kind of dislike this movie because I hate movies. Anything to do that trope. Like I hate when Marvel movies do that. Thor. That's why I don't like Thor 2. Oh, Jane Foster, him in love, and then the next movie it's like, oh, we're kind of broken up, and she
also
slaps
Malekith.
him. Oh, Malekith is a big thing. He ain't no Blonsky. But check out the Marvel retrospective. But yeah, my excitement for this is pretty minor. Like, I think we talked about this on the 2018 preview. It's, I don't know, if we made like a top 50 movies I'm excited for, I'm excited for Strangers 2 than this. Like, I don't know. I'm excited. Well, okay. The only movie that might come out next year that I'd be more excited for than this is like if they made Jigsaw 2, I'd still be more excited to see a Pirates than this, so.
Right.
Yeah. Spider-Man into the Spideyverse,
right?
Or into the Spider-Verse. I shouldn't say the because it just makes it sound like I'm taking shots at the title. So Dylan, what do you think about this? This is an animated movie. Spider-Man. Yeah. I was gonna say Spider-Man's producing it, which maybe is.
Spider-Man.
Sony's producing it because they still own Marvel, Spider-Man. So like Venom, like maybe that Morbius movie, they can make solo Spider-Man movies that don't have to do with the MCU. What did you feel about this trailer and this movie?
Well, my first, and it's really only a minor thing, is I don't. Travis just big tripped on.
Sorry, my dog keeps licking her paws. She's not supposed to be licking them, right? Is he? Did you see her look away?
Yeah, she's giving
because they're sore. So that's sorry for the viewers. I keep getting up to stomp my dog. I'm gonna put socks on you. But anyways, after a big trip, you're talking about.
Big trip, yeah. After the big trip, the title for me is kind of weird. It's just kind of awkward a bit. It's also like got some cheese to it, which I could like.
But the trailer doesn't.
No, I know that's the thing, right? It doesn't. Like after I saw that title, I don't know what I expected, but I certainly didn't expect that dark. I don't know, the dark vibe and
action more action, almost mystery because the whole
it's weird because it's dark, but then like all the lights like in the buildings are really, really colorful, and it reminds me of like Blade Runner or like Ghost in the Shell sort of dealio.
Oof, I don't know. I hope this isn't Ghost in the Shell. Well, because we talked about this before dinner when we saw the room. The disaster artist I thought it was going to be maybe Lego Batman-ish. From that title, I'm like, oh, Into the Spider-Verse. That sounds kind of cheesy and fun. Maybe it'll be a bunch of comedy. And the trailer feels like very not kiddie adults.
No.
Like not what I was expecting.
No, it doesn't at all.
Mm.
I'm really excited for it because it's not Peter Parker, and I have no experience with any Spider-Man that isn't Peter Parker. So I'm just excited to see what that character is like and learn about that, especially because we do a Spider-Man show, and we've reviewed all the movies and a bunch of the TV show and stuff like that. And I know obviously we'll do a review for this. And yeah, I don't know anything about that character, so it'll be new for me. So in that regard, I like it. And the other thing I'm interested in is that they kind of hint at the end of this trailer that there's like multiple Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I guess. Did we actually see two Spider-Mans, or is it just some like dark figure?
No, we see a guy in like jeans.
And he says there's other of us.
Yeah, the hidden spider shirt. I'm pretty sure that's Peter Parker.
Oh, okay.
I'm like I'm 99.9% sure. Right. Even though in the trailer they show Peter Parker's grave. So yeah, I think there's gonna be some like he faked his death or he's from a different universe sort of deal. So
I'm really excited for that storyline, and that'll be. I don't know. It's just new Spider-Man for me, and I don't really. I've never read the comic, so it's new.
I think Peter Parker's still gonna somehow be in this, even though they're like, it's not.
Well, it sounds like he will be now.
I'm gonna say this is probably not a bot. Someone in our live chat said, This is from Sexy Girls for Dating. Go to Sarah23.ga. So for all you guys or ladies out there,
Because you said all those letters that activated a virus.
they asked, when do babies crawl? And they put sunglasses.
When do babies? Is this like, I don't know the one-liner because there's some one-liner joke to this, right?
There must be. She didn't say it.
Mm.
I'm just gonna put when, and I'll let you know if I get
When
an
do
answer.
But
babies-
you have a baby though, right? So I feel like you should.
They
answer
crawl at all different ages. It depends on their development.
this. Okay.
It's when their bones
That's
start to get like grow, right?
Well, I think they always have bones.
They're
Or
always
else they would
growing.
just
But
be
their
like
bones
this
are all
flubber
like
thing.
not like full on like melded together, right? Like
Is that what it's like
melted.
on?
Point.
Is that what it's
That's-
like on your planet?
Their bones start.
Meld me, I'm ready for the big leagues.
I think what you're thinking of is like their skull isn't fully developed when they're born, so there's like the soft spot on the top of their
And the
head.
same with their like arms and legs too, right? That's
Well-
why eventually they get stronger and they can walk.
They do get stronger, and well, because they get bigger, sure, but they always have bones,
Yeah,
or else they would just like be like an ooze. So
that was Family Guy once. That was funny.
Talking about soft spots, did you have a soft spot for this trailer, Taylor Field?
I watched it just because I was curious and I
shit on it.
I didn't know really what to make of it. I thought it was cartoon, so that's cool. I would have rather it be live action.
Oh, you got a live action Spider-Man movie this year.
Yeah,
people would be so mad. People would be so mad.
And it's not.
People are like, "Oh, we don't need a third Spider-Man. We got Toby."
I don't know. I didn't understand anything that was going on. The music was kind of cool, but I mean, at the same time, I didn't.
He was just swinging through the city. What's not to understand? It's just showing his cool powers that he has like Nikes on while he kicks crime.
Yeah, but I mean, we already got that Spider-Man movie though of Peter Parker being.
We have a lot of Spider-Man stuff in.
Okay, but
existence.
what I felt like a clear way to make it different is, oh look, this is live action. This is an animated movie. Like I feel like
there's
you
lots of
automatically.
animated Spider-Man.
What did you say?
There's lots of animated Spider-Man.
No,
movies.
there's not.
Yeah, there is. Isn't there?
What theatrically released Spider-Man movie is there?
Isn't there like
Animated.
Animated?
Yeah.
Boom on the spot.
Isn't there some that have come on where he's like versing Green Goblin or Venom or something? I thought I
No,
saw those at
there's never
Walmart.
been
Been in the Toby movies. He's not animated. He's a real guy. I know you can't tell sometimes because he has this really like stone face on. But.
Continue your weird fucking rant. The things you like and dislike, I do not understand. All they want to do is just make an animated Spider-Man movie about a different Spider-Man that exists in the comics.
Well, you know, I mean, it's good for the fans. You know, the fans want it, but I mean, I don't know. I just, yeah. Will I see it? You know, if it is going to theaters?
Yes.
Really? Okay. Well, good for them. I'll probably go see it. I guess. I mean, I'm like 50-50 on it. I
think you've decided you're not going to see it.
I don't know
That's
what
the
to
vibe
make of
I'm
it.
getting.
Like, it just, when you say Blade Runner, it definitely has the Blade Runner vibes, and it just seems so, like,
okay.
colorful, and, like, I don't know,
It's not that. It's
And
pretty dark.
why are
though.
you saying this is a con, though?
I didn't say it was a con.
You're like, and it's so colorful. Like, who
I
are
was just
you?
pointing out these different things of the movie.
Okay.
I'll ask you a question. Have you seen this trailer? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Just double check it.
There was like, what was that one part? It seemed like at the beginning it was very just calm and he wasn't like embracing being Spider-Man, and then he like jumps off the side of like the building and like, and then he sees
webs
the
it
other Spider-Man looking dude that you said was Peter
Spider
Parker
dude.
zooming
I think
off.
And there's a spider crawling on the wall.
He's not zooming off. He's sitting there right by him.
Oh, I thought he was zooming off.
No, I don't think you've.
I think there's
watched
like a subway or train back
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, you know, they need to make money, so I guess why not?
Okay. This is one of the oddest opinions I think you've ever dropped on the papers.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I had no intention, I was gonna see it, but I had no level of excitement whatsoever. I like Miles Morales, but I'm like, hey, I can wait for when they kill Peter in MCU and they bring him over, so that'll be fun. I think it's a good way to introduce the character. The thing that caught me off guard was the animation style. It looks so slick, it looks so new, it looks so fresh. I was not expecting that. It looks different than anything else.
Kind of looks like Incredibles a little bit.
A little bit.
At least the characters.
The characters, I'm more like, the building and the action, that looked phenomenal. That doesn't look like anything out there, whether it's Pixar or DreamWorks. So that just caught me off guard. So right away, it was a good snappy trailer. It looked visually stunning. I'm a Miles Morales fan, and I think it's a good way to slowly introduce him. So then the MCU, then maybe, not that they're like tying this with the MCU, but then in 5 years when they say, "Oh, Miles Morales," some people know who he is, because lots of people
more
were
casual people will be like, "Oh, I know that."
Lots of people wanted Miles Morales to be in Homecoming instead of Peter Parker again, which I understand, but I really want Peter Parker as MCU never got to do their Peter Parker, so, and I think it'll be only better because you can do Peter Parker and you can do the storyline where it passes it off, so, yeah, I'm excited. It's a whole year away, so I'm actually kind of surprised we got that teaser. I don't think we needed it.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
It looks great. I'm excited to see a story trailer now in the future, but teaser maybe floored me. Maybe. Close. I stumbled.
You stumbled, but you made it back up.
Anyone excited? Taylor, you may not even know about this. There's been an announcement that there's going to be a G.I. Joe movie releasing 2020.
Okay, let me ask you this.
What is it?
Is it a sequel?
A sequel?
It's a reboot?
Yeah.
It's a reboot.
When did the other one come out?
The other one came out, like...
Just wild guess. I don't need an accurate date.
2.5 years ago.
2.5 years ago. Oh, that's pretty recent then.
Yeah.
For a reboot.
Yeah. Pretty sure it's 2.5 years ago. Because that was the sequel.
But less than 5 years ago.
Less than 5 years ago, yeah. Because they did the Channing Tatum one, and then they put out the...
Channing Tatum one?
Yeah. That was the regular G.I. Joe. And then they put out the new one with... They killed him off, and they put in Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
Like, you could be lying to me right now, and I'm just eating
No,
they
You did such a so what happened is they made a G.I. Joe movie, Rise of Cobra, which I for some reason unabashedly love. It is one of the fucking worst movies you'll ever
Channing
see.
Tatum one?
Yeah, Channing Tatum. It's also awful. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in it, and he plays like I think he plays the main Cobra. I'm not even a big G.I. Joe fan, so I just liked it as a kid, and I played with some of the toys, but I don't know the lore like people do. But it's awful. It's so bad. The other one they made with The Rock, I think, is not that awful. I think it's lots of fun.
Just kind of soured at that point.
Some people still shit on it. I guess I get it, but it was a step up. I love Snake Eyes and all that. But the first movie, they made it. Channing Tatum did not want to be in the second, so they kill him in like the first 10 minutes.
Nice.
Off. He was on the posters and trailers and everything like that. Yeah, and I think I actually have, when you got the DVD of the second movie. Yeah, when you get the DVD.
You have it right there! That was less than 6 feet away from where we're recording.
I've always put there. When you got the second movie, you got to, if you ordered it online, you got to make your exclusive dog tag. So the reason I got Captain is because when I worked at a retail establishment, I had a haircut the same way as Captain America, so we called it the Cap. And then I also have Suck It on there, so that shows how long I've always been doing that. But yeah, Travis Snell, birthday, all that, and I made, and I thought I just got such a kick, a dog tag, even wore it for a while, and I realized, that's probably really fucking lame. So I stopped wearing it.
Lame.
But I have it, so I'd be excited for G.I. Joe. I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't know who's directing. They just said they're making it, so why not? I'm open to a bunch of army ninjas teaming together to fight bad guys that are themed as cobras, so yeah.
Yeah, if there's like, I don't know, some actor that I'm interested in who's...
Do you know anything? Have you seen anything G.I. Joe, like in the old animated shows
I
back in the day?
I had like some of the toys, but I don't know anything about the story or the characters really. So I really gotta see a trailer before I can make an opinion. And apparently, I don't know if I want to watch the other movies.
We should do a G.I. Joe
retro.
G.I. Joe retro.
G.I. Joe retro.
There's only two, and they're both like an hour and a half, and they're both like really cheesy.
You know, if you can get one fan to say I want to see that, then I'll do it.
I can get a fan to say it.
Yeah, but if you just like hire someone or get your girlfriend to write it,
no.
Doesn't count.
I'll get a complete fan to say it.
A complete.
That almost makes it sound like you're threatening someone.
I shouldn't have said that because now it's like you guys are just gonna fake it. But no, I'd do it anyway. It sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Will I see this movie in theaters? You'd really have to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about G.I. Joe. Nothing else.
I remember a long time ago when the first one came out in the theaters, went to see it in theaters, and I fell in love with it. I thought it was fun, but I was
it's
young.
It's very
though.
Transformer-y.
I
was very young though. I thought like the whole like theory with like nanites and stuff was like super cool, and like I was totally into the whole nanite thing. And
you just said that.
Yeah.
You repeated it. Nanites.
So it was great. I was very bummed when they killed Channing Tatum off in the second one. I was like, what's the point?
Off screen too. He just falls in like a bunker and it gets exploded.
So bad.
Wait, like, is he actually he's in the movie?
Yeah.
Technically.
He's like, so The Rock comes in and they're like best friends and they're on a mission. First 10 minutes and there's something like bombs happen and he decides to like throw Dwayne Johnson down a well to like die the bombs. And then they kind of, like, the whole movie, you're like, man, when's Channing Tatum gonna come back? He never comes back! He's just literally dead.
Did they even have a funeral for him or anything?
No.
I thought they did, or there was some mention of it or something, but Bruce Willis is in this movie as well, the second one. Are you a fan of the Mummy franchise with Brendan Fraser?
I haven't seen one.
No? Okay.
You knew that.
Yeah, I probably did at some
Well,
point.
Brendan Fraser's a little cameo.
Brendan Fraser has a cameo. In,
As a mummy? Or?
No, as he plays a long, distant relative of his mummy character, though.
Does he really?
The character's name, like, in the Mummy is Rick O'Connell. Or Connell? Is it Rick
O'Connor?
O'Connor?
O'Connor. Isn't it?
I don't think... I think it's O'Connell.
You have to look that up.
I'm gonna, but anyways...
Who cares?
But anyways...
I would never look it up in my life. I could not care less about it.
That's some cool
Anyways,
story.
his character in G.I. Joe's last name is O'Connell, so he plays like some distant relative.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Well, this life has been a lie to me.
Okay.
I think, and you know, where the second one ended, you know, I think it ended on like a huge cliffhanger.
Of course,
it did end on a
fucking Tom Cruise's The Mummy comes up now, and he searches the Mummy now. That's the first thing.
Yikes.
I'm totally down
O'Connell.
for-
Fuck you, O'Connor.
Okay. Well, you weren't even confident. So.
No, but I knew it was an O'Connor.
I'm very happy that they're doing a reboot. I think, you know, it'll be cool because I mean, obviously the franchise is dead right now. Those classic old cartoons that would be on like Teletoon or whatever it was. I can't remember which TV station it's on, but like.
I can't answer that for you.
Like Cobra and all that stuff. Like
Cobra
it's so
Commander.
yeah, it's so awesome. That stuff is great.
Dogs. I don't remember that show. Therefore, I hate you.
It's an awesome show. And King Cobra actually looks really cool. I will give him that. Like in Retaliation, I think he looks really cool.
It's really bad. We should watch the movies. Oh boy. Okay, so last week you could also check this out. We talked about, we did a special episode of X-Men and Fantastic Four and a whole Fox getting bought by Disney. So we did a big episode about that. But what we haven't talked about is a few weeks ago they released the first images of Dark Phenix, and we actually got to see the Phoenix. And they released some plot points saying that the X-Men are actually going to go to space because the whole movie X-Men, or Xavier's like pushing the team to get better and better and to do greater and greater things. And apparently that they go on this mission because Xavier forces them to and says we have to do this. They go on the mission, and that's where Jean Grey somehow is going to get the Phoenix Force, which is a weird way. They're kind of doing the comic origin, but not really. And then obviously they're going to come back to Earth, and she's going to wreak havoc. And they've released a bunch of photos. Some of them are just the cast, but the main one everyone's talking about is I think it's Storm, Xavier, and Beast, and they're at a funeral, and they're all standing around looking at this coffin or casket or whatnot. So everyone's been like, who's gonna die? So I was gonna say, what do you think about all that? But then also, what do you think about now? How much does this movie matter anymore? I think it didn't really matter too much because
like it sounds like they're just going off the fucking charts, going wild with it, and I think that's actually an amazing way to end out your X-Men Fox movies. Why not?
I think Magneto. I think they've come from Genosha. So it's like Genosha. It's like
planet from Star Wars.
It's like his own like planet and country he creates just for
planet and country.
Yeah.
Is it a country or is it a planet? Because those are two very different.
I'll get the exact one because it kind of changes all the time. But it's like just for mutants. But I'll look at 100% up because I am tired.
You're tired.
Yeah.
So sorry, you think that's going to be a plot that is confirmed, or you think that'll be a plot point in this?
No, this is a plot point about that. Hang on here. It's a plot point.
Magneto's going to make his own planet / country.
Genosha.
Mm-hmm. Genosha?
Yeah, it's confirmed.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is it a planet or is it an island
I'm
or
figuring
a country? Because if he takes over Canada, that'd be pretty cool.
Okay. Meanwhile, the island of Genosha. This is your official from comicbook.com. Where we'll find Magneto is an iconic place in X-Men comic books located along the eastern coast of Africa. Genosha was a non-too subtle metaphor for South Africa at its period of apartheid? I don't know.
Anyway, go.
The island has a unique policy, and prejudiced citizens were tested at birth for a mutant gene, and if they were discovered they possessed it, they were subjected to a process of having their free will stripped away to become superpowered slaves called mutates. who are considered property of the state.
So this is the storyline they're doing?
Well,
Because that sounds like you need more than one movie.
when the
Sounds like you need Marvel's help.
When the government kidnapped members of X-Men and X-Force, Xavier's students toppled the government, plunging Genosha into a period of civil war. After Magneto made a political bid for the mutants-only nation, the UN coincided by awarding him Genosha, where Magneto became an effective ruler, removing the last remnants of the former era and creating a prosperous mutant society. However, when his army became too powerful and too ambitious, the X-Men were forced to take down Magneto. It's a very popular storyline in the comic books. That's why I said kind of like, yeah, it's a country, but it's like this. Sometimes I'm pretty sure I thought in the animated series it's a planet, or it's like a Wonder Woman thing where it's on Earth but not really. So it's like this place where it's very highly sci-fi-ish. But so that's where you had where Magneto has like and that's all it says is for his Michael Fassbender. Will play. We have official confirmation how Magneto will fit in the storyline as well as EW. Shorten your fucking articles. A confused Jean turns to Eric Lencher, the rogue mutant who parted ways with X-Men at the end of Apocalypse, and now lives on an island named Genosha, a destination comic fans will recognize. He sets up this place for mutants that don't have a home to go to. Fassbender explains they have to work as a community, but it's a safe place for them and they'll be accepted. So it sounds like...
a little Last Standish, you could say.
So, yeah. No, it does actually.
I love that
and
movie.
It's the same guy that wrote Last Stand.
Yes!
And he's directing it.
Woo! I love that movie.
Can't wait till we do X-Men Retro and you're gonna rewatch it and
I'll probably think it's garbage.
Yeah, but so that's, I imagine it sounds like he's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Genosha, but not really comic book wise. Like they're gonna temper it.
It's gonna be like a budgeted Genosha.
Yeah. So then also it sounds like she's gonna have some problems and maybe go there to for some help. But that does sound, now that I've talked about this, that sounds like a lot going on, though.
Oh, it's a ton. But, it's your last movie, so you can just go fucking ham. And maybe if there's some problems with it, I feel like you could kind of look past some of them just because, it's your last...
Is it their last?
Well, it's the last Fox. I feel like they're going to recast and get rid of all this storyline,
Yeah. Which plug, we're going to do a fantasy draft in 2018, so that's going to be lots of fun. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that's probably it for them. I hope it's good. I hope they don't go on a sour note. And it's hard for me to get super excited because it's now no longer leading to anything. This is like I'll be excited because I'm excited to see these actors probably play the roles for last time because I love Xavier McAvoy, I love Fassbender, and I like Beast too. Mystique I can give or take, but I'll be excited to kind of have that aspect of like this is the final time of this generation, and it's literally the end of an era. Like Fox X-Men was a huge part of superhero movies. This is presumably until they say otherwise, probably it for them, right?
Yeah, probably.
And because they've also said this is something you can talk about after us, is that they do plan on putting the X-Men and whatever Fantastic Four in MCU, which we knew, but they confirmed that, and they did say Deadpool's gonna be rated R. So they plan on bridging that out. So it is going to be interesting if they do keep Ryan Reynolds, if there is any whispers whatsoever, if they keep any of these people. I still think no, but they're keeping, it's the CEO of Disney said they want to stick with Radar Deadpool. So they're not opposed to sticking with some stuff Fox has done.
I can see why, if that's your exception.
Yeah.
But that is a curious point on whether or not, like, even if they use some of these actors, if it's the same story, right? If it's these events are technically in the same universe or not.
Or it's just that, like, we don't talk about the past.
Right, because you would think, well, if Geonosis, this place exists, then, why isn't the Avengers going? Like, maybe they do. Maybe that's the crossover. Yeah, there you go.
What's this country? $1
million ideas. Hire me as the idea guy.
Taylor Field, notorious hater of the X-Men movies.
Oh, I wouldn't say hater. I liked First Class.
I think so. Okay.
I mean, I actually...
What about Last Stand?
You
like Last Stand?
Last Stand? It's one of the originals that I probably should have bought, but never got around to it.
That doesn't really answer my question much.
You don't need to buy that movie.
Out of all the X-Men movies, I own Days of Future Past.
You don't own the greatest one, though.
I own the Wolverine.
That's not the greatest one.
I
don't own
Wolverine.
Logan.
Wolverine is sick.
Is it called the Wolverine or just Wolverine?
It's called the Wolverine. I own First Class. And I haven't picked up Apocalypse. I'd like to get Apocalypse.
You'll get Apocalypse before Logan.
I like those X-Men,
What? Since when?
I like those kinds of X-Men.
You didn't see Apocalypse with us in the theaters.
He was
Oh
busy
yeah, I
then.
saw that. What? I don't even remember that. It was like a.
Have you seen that movie?
I have. I saw it in theaters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it
Fuck
in theaters.
you.
Whose theaters?
But no, I mean, you know, it'll be cool. I really enjoy Fassbender. I liked his development in Apocalypse, and just, you know, he's just trying to live normal life, and he just can't even have that because his kid gets killed. But I mean, I
Big
want
spoilers. Big spoilers.
No warning
Oh
whatsoever.
my! I kind of knew this coming. I was like, should I say something? Nah.
This is Apocalypse. This franchise is ending. It doesn't matter.
I really.
His daughter died.
There's one thing that I just hope is that they do have that moment where Quicksilver actually confesses that he's
Oh, fuck
Magneto's son.
Apocalypse for that.
Confesses.
I
Magneto's son. It was me all along.
that was my least favorite thing about Apocalypse. The whole movie, Quicksilver's looking for his dad, and then at the end of the movie,
They're
hey, you gonna tell
flirting
him?
with it, yeah.
Nah, I'm not gonna tell him. Fuck you.
Magneto.
That's such a bullshit cop.
I forgot that. I forgot that. It just made me a bit sad.
Yeah.
That's so you know that's what I would want.
The one thing.
The
You'll
one
probably get it.
one thing that I want.
They
But
could easily do that.
other than that,
Easily.
I am straight up. You know, I'm a little excited for the fact that you mentioned like it's their last movie and they're just gonna
Pop off.
fuck shit up. You know.
We
Like,
don't
they're
know
gonna-
that because they were making this before they knew it was the last movie. So I don't
How
think it's
far
gonna...
were they? How far did they get in though?
I'm pretty sure
Before
they're either
Disney
close or they're wrapped shooting. So that's not much. It's the same thing as the Leia thing, right? Like, well, you know, like they didn't have time to change anything with her because the movie had already been shot and done, right? So it's the same way with this. They could change a few stuff. Maybe Robert Downey flies, but no. But like, I think it doesn't actually change much. I think it's just the same. I think they're gonna make this weird, crazy movie already, and then it was gonna maybe suck, and then like, well, that was our last shot with the X-Men.
And so they're going into space.
Yeah, it's for a mission. Yeah, because
I
they're
don't-
doing the semi-con. Well, once again, in the comics, they do go to space, and it's like a part of a huge like mission. Like not like this. This sounds very down to earth, where it's like, oh, they're gonna go to space and help out. Like they go to space like Guardian style, and that's how Jean Grey gets the Phoenix Force. The Phoenix Force. Like the X-Men go to space quite a bit in the comic
When you
books.
say Guardian style, they go visit like alien planets or something.
Yeah. They talk to aliens. Like
Really?
Lalandra is like Xavier has like a love affair with, and she has like bird feathers coming out of her and stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought it was just basically go to the spaceship and it's just boring. But I mean, that sounds.
I think it's gonna be like that in the movie.
And it's
I think in the movie
And
it's
it's like
gonna be-
intentionally make it like really dry. Like no one's gonna like this. Let's do it. The other thing I was gonna say is, you know, Apocalypse. It was like the world-ending thing, but it's fine because they haven't really done that in a bit. And I mean, there's some problems with that movie. I don't think it's necessarily because they chose to do that, but I think that's cool about this movie that they're going back to what I find really interesting about the X-Men, and that's kind of, I guess if they do really delve into that storyline and how mutants are kind of always being pushed aside or trying to take captive or being eliminated, and kind of sounds like we're going to get that, so
Yeah.
that should be fun at least.
Mm-hmm. Anything else movie or TV related we want to talk about
No. Taylor might have something.
on this last
No
joint
notes.
newscast?
It's last joint.
You decided to no-note it for the final?
I didn't want to, you know, I just wanted to
You
just...
forgot.
He didn't have time.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. What a fucking liar. Oh, I didn't want.
You could have said like, oh, it's Christmas shopping. Like that's a fine excuse, but no.
I did Christmas shop.
He spent 2 hours deciding which sweater he was gonna buy.
No, this secret shop, Secret Santa.
Oh, right. We have a Secret Santa thing going on. That's why this newscast is early. So.
Movie news though, you know?
Or TV. No
Or
all day.
TV.
Don't discriminate here.
Ooh, TV. Oh, there, you know? I'm gonna bring up Beastmaster Season 2.
Yes! I fucking love Beastmaster.
I'll let you guys talk
That
about
is why have you not watched the show yet? It is the best show on Netflix. Not Daredevil.
I
not
haven't even
Stranger
watched Stranger Things yet.
Watch
Stranger Things is
Beast.
good.
Watch
I'm sure it
Beastmaster,
is.
then
It's
Stranger
great.
Things. It's so good.
Watch Beastmasters first. Though?
Yes.
Wow.
It
It's
is-
really good.
It is a show. I should almost just have it
No,
playing.
you've sold me on it before.
We're gonna have we're doing a Christmas party. We're gonna have Christmas music playing during the Christmas party, but I think I'm gonna have Beastmaster muted playing on the TV because it is.
Can you just have it full volume and we can all just not talk to each other and just watch it.
Just watch it and like that was a great night, folks. It's the show that's trying to like. You remember was it MXC?
Oh
back
yeah,
in the day?
I love those shows.
So you know how that show was on purpose.
They had like those crazy outfits and like
Yeah.
they were always like the commentary was just super hype.
Well, you know
I
how they
love
did
that.
that on purpose, right? Trying to make it extra cheesy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that. Sometimes Beastmaster does that, but it doesn't feel like they're trying to do that. They do this thing where, okay, so the premise of the show is every episode there's 9 competitors, and it's like a wipeout course sort of thing, right? And all of them is there 9 or 10 actually? I think it's 10 because it's even.
Yeah.
So there's always 2 people from a certain country. So every season there's 6 countries, so there's there's 5 countries, 2 people from each country,
Yep.
and they make it this big thing. Literally one episode I was watching saying that like the pride of a nation is on the line here. And they're not tongue in cheek, like they're trying to make it sound like America winning this is like a huge deal. When a person would win their episode, a bunch of people from the crowd will come, like the other American competitors, and they'll like be cheering and they got the flag. They have stuff like last season, they don't have it anymore.
Did that.
Last season they had a CGI crowd. It wasn't a real crowd.
Nice.
The whole episode there's cheering and stuff going on, then they shoot to the crowd. It's not real people. And they do that again this year, but they don't even show the crowd. So there's just a crowd cheering of nobody. Like it's this great thing where they're trying to be serious, but I think they unpurposely, like not on purpose, are really cheesy and really lame, and that's what makes the show even better.
I guess they just have like a very limited budget, so they're like
It's pretty
they play with that.
It's cheap, but at the same time, it's produced by Sylvester Stallone, so they're not doing that. Yeah, in the first season, he makes a couple cameos. He like gives like, "This is what it's about. This is the world. This is how we do, Beastmaster." And then and then season 2 is I've been waiting the whole time. My favorite track is a conveyor belt. Even though this year they chipped us because they made it easier for people. So what it is, it's like a treadmill. You jump on it and you go like this, and you shoot off, and you're supposed to grab something. The amount of times last season. How many times I laughed when people would do the thing where they'd go off and then jump in midair and like wouldn't get it, so and then try to jump and no, it's just like them always making these body movements, or they would like jump with one foot and fall. This year they lowered it a bit, but it still happens. That is the best one. They just try to jump and they look like fucking fools. Looks like they're gonna make wedgies. And it's phenomenal. The show is super cheesy. The commentary is super cheesy. I will say I'm super mad at Netflix for not bringing Terry Crews back because he's America's commentator. And each did you see this? Each country has their own commentators. So in like Spain Netflix, you can watch the Spain version because there's France this year. Cool. You can watch the French version on Netflix, and it's actually like a different show. It's super fucking weird. But yeah, Terry Crews was the commentator for season 1 of it, and it is phenomenal. Season 2.
Who's the commentator now? Just some random guy?
Tiki Barber. He's a former football player, and and a really bad comedian that I'm sure Taylor loves. The white guy.
My favorite judges or commentators are the France and the Italians. I like their chemistry back and forth. It's really
Spain's so boring, they do nothing. And then Indian, there's just like a bunch of good looking people.
The Chinese are just way too overhyped.
No, the girl is the guy.
The girl's way. Yeah.
So what happened was it Japan last year? Or was it China?
Korea?
Oh, it was Korea. And then like both of them, they're like classic, like. And I think all these people are American. They just tell them to play up their stereotypes, like that type of show. But they're always like, yeah, do it, little Johnny, or little Joe, yeah. So they would do that, both of them. This year, the girl is like that, and it feels like the guy is like actually trying to be on a real sports show. He's like always going for it, and she's like, no, and he's just like, and then he goes, and like, and it's not a gimmick. It's super weird. I cannot recommend that show enough. It's probably my dream if they have a Canadian team for me and Taylor to do the commentary for the Canadian team.
I was gonna say I had to message you that like it's your dream job. I think you have to be a commentator for that.
Netflix, we will do it for free. I will pay you. It is. You gotta watch it.
I don't know if you should say you pay them.
I would pay them to be on the show. You gotta watch it. Watch one episode and you'll be fucking hooked because what happens is there's 9 episodes and then the winner of all those episodes in episode 10 they all verse each other to be the ultimate
the big team up! Whoa, it's like your Avengers.
The ultimate Beastmaster. Last year was lots of variety. This year just feels like just 2 countries are winning and that's about it. I won't spoil it.
Well, that's kind of a spoiler in and of itself.
No, it's not. Have you finished it yet?
No, I haven't had time to watch. I'm on episode 3.
Okay, I'm on episode 7, so we're almost close. I dropped it at a very bad time. No promotion.
No, I was just flicking through, and I saw recently added. And I'm like, I was flicking through Netflix.
Okay.
And I saw Beastmaster. I'm like,
how do you watch Netflix? What do you watch it off of?
My Xbox.
Yeah, so you're flicking through and you're...
Yeah, I have my controller. I moved down
One
the left
hand.
stick. Yeah.
Wow.
The controllers aren't that chunky, Travis. You can hold it with one.
Oh, yeah, they are.
But so yeah,
I was like, you have a Joy-Con?
Joy-Con. I'm scrolling through and like, I saw like recent ad. I'm like, oh, Beastmaster. Like, I already watched season 1. Why is it recent ad again? I look. I'm like, season 2. Yeah, that's when I sent to the group chat. Like, everyone's got to get in this. And Jessica was freaking out right away.
Just popping off.
It's a great show.
So.
Oh, listen to this. Sexy girls for dating go to Kita, Kita.
Same person?
No.
Oh.
Listen. The first one was Sarah23.j. This is Kita18.tk.
So I wonder if they're bots, eh?
I don't think so.
Unlikely, yeah.
I don't think so. They asked what movie should I watch, and then it's a emoji of like paper.
Oh.
What are with
They're
the
taking
emojis?
notes.
What?
Are they sending the emojis after sending the message?
No, the emojis is with the message. So the first
You
one.
should tell them to watch the first G.I. Joe movie.
Okay, first G.I. Joe movie. Dylan says, what movie should Sexy Girls for Dating Kiddo watch?
Human Centipede.
Okay.
God.
What's
What's your recommendation, Travis?
You
You only get one pick. Could be Last Jedi.
It's not gonna be Last Jedi. I'm
Could
trying
be
to think of
Justice
something that would be
League.
good for. You know what? Go and give Suicide Squad a good old watch. You know.
Some Jared Leto action.
Yeah.
Some Jared Leto classic.
That'll get you out of the mood, just like that. Video game news. What do we got for video game news? I literally have, I think, just one thing, and that's about it. It's a bigger thing, but that's it.
Yeah, dude, nothing.
Yeah.
I think I got 3 things.
Okay, you go, and then we'll end off with the NPD, which we figured out what was it? The National
Police
Purchase Diary
Discovery.
or something.
Dyslexia. I don't know.
Dyslexia? Never heard of this before.
What are your 3 things?
My first thing is
Free ball, and he has no notes today.
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh, more Star Wars.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they released their Last Jedi Season 1 DLC.
What does that include?
All free. You get 2 characters for free. You get Phasma and Finn.
Phasma, oh, fucking sick. Love that character.
Phasma's actually great in the game, which I can say, for news people, I have bought the game. It is actually tremendous. I bought it because it was $50, but the game's fantastic.
50 bones.
I just, unfortunately, they kind of screwed the pooch, but the game is so much fun.
It is.
Playing as Kylo Ren and Darth Maul is fantastic.
Kylo Ren is so much fun to play as.
Finn, not so much.
So you get Phasma and Finn?
Yeah, and then you get the crate map. And do you get anything else?
So good, the crate
Like
map.
any other multiplayer maps?
Is the crate map like you move buildings around and like stuff like that? Like how in depth is the crate map? What do you mean by crate map?
Crate. Do you know?
He doesn't know. It's a
Oh, I thought you said create map,
No.
like a map maker. and
It's
I
the
was
last
really
planet
excited.
they're on in Last Jedi, so the salt. It's really cool when you're running around.
That is cool.
You get to run inside the caves and whatnot, and the textures, phenomenal.
Textures.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you even have those little ships that fly with the legs.
Those
down.
like
You can
sand
fly.
speeders.
Yeah.
Did you play the DLC, the Resurrection DLC yet?
No, I haven't even played campaign.
Oh, okay.
I'm good. I've just been having fun online, and I want to do it right now while it's in the heat of Star Wars. You know.
Yeah. I
I don't care about Eden Urso's story.
I won't spoil it then,
Yes.
but it's really cool with the Resurrection storyline and how it basically it mirrors the storyline happening in Force Awakens right literally up to the point of Last Jedi. It's really cool to see this outside perspective.
Which is actually not important.
Sorry, it's at the
It's
same
very
time
important.
as Force Awakens, or it's right
It's
after?
exactly the same time.
It's
as Force
not
Awakens.
important at all. Don't let Taylor try to fool you. If it's not in the movie, it's not that important.
Oh,
People always go, oh,
snap.
canon. No, guess what? Captain Phasma got a fucking book before this. People are like, oh, she's gonna be Last Jedi so much. No spoilers, but sorry, she's in it for fucking 5 minutes. Canon is not, and for some reason in the in the novelization of Force Awakens, something in Last Jedi happens that completely contradicts the book. So like the book's like, yeah, they're like, we're making canon books still, but like I don't care about Eden Ursin's story. I'm gonna play it because it's a campaign, but this whole like, oh, it's happening right by Force Awakens Last Jedi. Yeah, so is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and no one gives a fuck about that.
know.
Like it's that where it's like, oh, it's happening right beside. It doesn't matter.
When you're
It's
playing
not-
the campaign
Oh.
of Eden's story, and you literally see Starkiller Base blowing up outside of the Star Destroyer's window, I mean that's happening really.
She does not affect the main
alongside.
story at all, though, right?
Yeah, but there's
Right?
actually a lot that
That's all
affects
I
the
know.
main story. Plus,
No,
and here's
no,
a little bit bit of spoiler.
None of it affects the main story.
You find the trinket in the campaign that Luke uses to find the planet that he stays on in Last Jedi, and it's
trinket?
also a trinket. It's also in the movie. As well.
That's exactly what they
Fucking
give them.
Wild,
They give them scraps. Like, hey, where
I'm buying this game right now. I'm gonna sell my house, throw my car in the fucking trash compactor.
Sell
I'm
your
buying
shit.
this game.
It's even in the
Not so
movie, though.
much.
I mean,
It's what?
It's even in the movie. You see it in. I'm not gonna spoil when, but I mean, it's in the movie.
I know, but they just give them like the scraps. Like, what are we never going to talk about in these movies?
They live in the basement of the restaurant where they're making all these dishes, and they just. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I love Star Wars and I love all that. It's the same way as Rebels doesn't fucking matter. Oh, it's fucking what's his name?
No, I think Rebels matters quite a bit.
No,
Quite a
none
bit
of those characters appear. Oh, is Ezra gonna be in Rogue One or Last Jedi? Guess what? Spoiler: he ain't fucking in any of those. So, goddamn, like.
Yeah, but it still
Everyone-
has a huge part of the Star Wars universe.
Other than Saw Gerrera, who was in Rogue One for fucking 5 minutes, it was the worst part of that movie. When does the new canon ever have any a major role to play? And Saw Gerrera didn't even have that major role to play. He was like.
I don't know, they took many components from
Mini components.
Rebels and threw it into Rogue One.
Like what? What affected the main story in a big way? Did Darth Vader have a lightsaber duel with any of those people?
No, you didn't need
No.
He didn't need to.
I'm saying that the new canon does not give a fuck about the books and everything. There's stuff that you can get sweaty about and read and be excited, and that
Really
can
sweaty.
help your experience. Like, yeah, you can read the Rogue One book, and it has so much more backstory on Tarkin and Galen Erso. But really, at the end of the day, it doesn't affect the main story. It's just for, like, big fans. Like Dylan was talking about, oh, you would get into stuff. But it's not like, what your example? Oh, Luke's trinket.
What about an example of the fact that they download the schematics for that dreadnought and give it to the Resistance, and that's how
That's
the
not
Resistance
a ma-
knows
that's
how
not a major
to
thing,
send
'cause
Poe in or something like
That's
that.
not a major thing because, yeah, they know how to send Poe, but they don't decide. Poe's the one that just decides just to fucking blow the thing up. Like, it's a
He
character
knows how to
thing.
do it, though.
But that could be. And you're talking about the most minute things. They got the plans for
Yeah,
one
that's
ship.
what people have been doing for the past 2 years.
We're gonna let's shelf this. We're gonna talk about this on Cantina Conversation one time. We're gonna talk about does canon even matter anymore? Because I don't think it does. I really don't. There's no examples of like, oh, they gave them plans, a trinket. Oh, they engraved their cheese. Like no one cares about this. Dylan doesn't care about this. Like these little minute
But
details.
the fans do.
It'd be different if you're like, hey, guess what? Battlefront gives you Snoke's origin. Dylan might be like, Dylan would play, but be like, oh, okay, like what's it about?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't do that. It's about this made-up character who they make me play
Yeah, but what
sometimes in
about
fucking Battlefront.
when
Which
it
is
gives
so
you origin
lame.
to
I don't
Luke,
want to play
though.
her.
You play as Luke, you play as Han, you play as Leia and all that.
Does it happen before A New Hope? Their stories? Because that's not an origin,
This is all
Taylor
after,
Field.
though.
That's not. You just said that was an
I
origin.
didn't say it was origin. You get to play as them.
No. Oh my god. You said it wasn't origin. I have recorded proof of that. You said an origin, and then you're talking about it happens after the movies. That's not an origin. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Han had a fucking beard in between Force Awakens and Return of the Jedi. That's such a big thing for Battlefront 2 to do. Waka waka.
Waka flocka.
Get triggered on.
I think you.
God damn, you spelled egg on my shirt.
I don't think that's Taylor's
It is.
at all.
I think I missed. Stop!
Oh my god.
Talk about Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2, well, you know, that's pretty much it. The Resurrection DLC.
Oh, we're going out with a bang, ladies and gentlemen.
What else?
You had 2 other gaming news. What
I had
were
2
they?
other gaming newses. What were they? I should have wrote them down.
You
Oh,
should've.
son of a gun. There was totally. I was gonna talk about Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, I was about to
but
say I think there's one that's called Duty. I'm not gonna bring it up because I want to forget it.
I feel like I can't remember though exactly. So
Must
I think
not
I'm
be
gonna,
big news then. Eh?
I'm gonna give it a pass, because I don't think the first map pack has come out yet.
Do you think? Are we okay with that? Do you
No, I
think
think
we can allow
I'll
pass?
live.
You're good with
I think I'll
that?
wait till 2018 to hear my Call of Duty update.
I think I'm okay
Okay.
with not.
Aside from that, Assassin's
Pokemon.
Creed. Yeah,
Oh,
Pokemon.
Assassin's Creed, the other
Yeah,
news.
Assassin's Creed. They keep dishing out all these new gods that you can face off.
I forget
Just
it.
dishing out gods like they're nothing. Here's a god. Here's Anubis. Here's Conley. Here's all the gods.
Just buy our fucking game, please.
Please.
And on
Name
top
a
of
god.
that,
We'll do it. We don't care anymore.
Since you reminded me, I'm gonna say Pokemon Go. They just
Nice
updated it.
going, Travis.
God God damn.
They
What,
did-
got Gen 17 there?
They just added a lot of Gen 3. You can catch Groudon.
Groudon.
At raids, and they added weather effects
Groudy.
now, so if it's snowing or raining outside, it's raining in the game and affects
That
certain
sucks.
Pokemon appearing and not appearing.
Oh, that's cool.
Certain times of day, again, different Pokemon, and they're just bad. What's up?
Sexy girls for dating. Go to Sarah23.ml.
back?
No, not GA. The first one was .ga. This is .ml.
We have 2 sexy Sarahs in the
How
chat.
to get rid of love handles, and then the
Oh,
emoji.
the age-old question.
The emoji was a tomato. That's not a bad start.
Eating tomatoes are good.
As
The
someone that has
prostate.
been working on eating cleaner, healthier, as I drink this whole eggnog, so not tonight, because I worked late, it all comes down to dieting.
I thought that was the thing only girls got.
What?
Love handles.
No, guys get them too.
Do you know what a love handle is?
Yeah, it's when their hips start to, you can hold them. It's like
No,
love
it's just
handles.
fat around your waist.
Oh, I thought it was like their hips start to widen out a bit, and it's what you call love handles, because guys put their hands on the hips.
Mm.
Why can't guys put their hands on other guys' hips?
They could, but I mean, I haven't met those kind of guys that tell me
Well, I can introduce you to a few of those guys.
Travis has got just the place for you.
Yeah.
that.
It might be in a back alley. Or 3.
Back alley or 3.
Yep.
Gaming news. I tried a little bit of Resident Evil 7.
Mm.
And
The
that
VR
was
game?
not the VR version,
Oh.
but that was actually really scary. I'd love to try the VR version.
Cool.
Yeah, so
So if any of you want to head over into your home to try the VR version,
I'm down. Just just careful.
Just careful!
Well,
I really don't know if I want to know to
when
me.
he goes in prison, these are the clips they show. Let's end off 2017 with some sales figures of 2017. Let me read you down. What do you think was the #1 game in November?
What came out in November again?
I'll tell you.
What was that game called? Battlefront.
No, that came out.
No,
that
that game
was
was
the
not.
number
No,
one game in
I
November?
forgot that game was highly
Yikes.
controversial.
A Battlefront!
I don't know. I can't remember what came out.
Skyrim for the Switch.
If it is, I'm gonna leave early. Please don't tell me it's Skyrim. Please don't say
So Skylanders, followed
Skylanders.
by Disney Infinity. No, #1 Call of Duty World War II.
it. Did that come out in November?
Yeah.
Oh well, I thought it came out like a year.
#2 Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh shit! So I wasn't that far off.
Yeah, 3 holding on pretty good. 3 Assassin's Creed Origin, which was 2 last month, so pretty good. 4 NBA 2K18, 5
cool.
Madden, 6 Super Mario Odyssey, 7 FIFA.
I feel like anytime there's a sports game, it has another sports game right next to it.
Yeah. FIFA, and then Need for Speed,
Yeah, there you go.
Destiny, and then Pokemon Ultra Sun just barely went over
Ouch.
Ultra Moon at 11. So Ultra Moon was 11 and Ultra
Wow.
Sun was 10. But
Got some moon haters in the house.
so I don't think anything out of the ordinary there. I'm trying to find, because I'm sorry folks, I lost page, but the big thing that everyone was talking about in November was PS4 won the month of November, which I would think was quite a shock because Switch had a lot of momentum. I thought it was going to clean up this winter, but this past few months, with the combination of hearing it only sold 2 million in North America and now not winning November, I think it was like an early adopter hit. Like lots of people rushed out to get in the numbers because it was like, remember, fastest selling console in North America. And I thought, oh, I'm really wrong here. I think it's still doing well because it's doing well in like Japan, stuff like that. But North America, it seems to not have a similar trend to the Wii. It's better than Wii U, but it's not like a huge launch over Wii U.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of surprised by
Well,
that.
I think people, as per usual, they get hyped on something that's new and shiny. And in the case of Nintendo, something new Nintendo, there's always, there's a long list of Nintendo fanboys out there. So they'll get excited for that stuff. But maybe they're realizing, or the people who are considering buying one after a few months, maybe they've thought about those concerns that we brought up for as long as time goes back. Some potential issues with the Switch and what they're providing. And I guess I thought Odyssey would be a big seller, but at the end of the day, if I look at the anecdote of myself, I didn't end up buying a Switch, and I did say for a while, and I lied apparently, that I would buy the Switch for Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I guess there's other people in that same boat, and you look at, we've brought this up 1,000 times, but Zelda, well, you can play it on your Wii U if you have one, so...
Yeah. And the other thing I'm going to bring up, Taylor, as I throw to you, is the other talking point that people were a little surprised about Xbox was this was the month of the launch of the Xbox One X, and people thought
Forgot about
put
that.
it over a bit, and it still didn't put over PS4. And now I think the rumor numbers is because I can't remember. I had to put Kyle to shame in our group chat when he's like, "Oh, Xbox catching up," and then like the numbers, the numbers are PS4 is past 70 million, and the Xbox is just getting close to 30 million. So there's a pretty big gap. So
It's quite large.
As a resident Xbox fan, Taylor, are you a little surprised that Xbox One X didn't even at least November? To me, I would have thought even November it outsold PS4, and then December might level back out. But I'm surprised that it didn't even hit there. And to me, that shows, for me, what I've been saying with this and the PS4 Pro, that I think it's something good people will get as an upgrade, but I don't think people are going to jump on like, oh, these amazing graphics. Like, people have the games. I think the really big sellers are still a PlayStation 5, an Xbox, whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, I don't know if video games are going to work the same way as phones. If that's some way they want to, I don't know if it works the same way. I don't know if gamers are the same way of like, oh, I'll buy a console every year because it's a new thing. I think they're like, no.
There is some people like that, but I can't afford that personally.
No, not at all. Yeah. So Taylor, what do you feel about the Switch and Xbox? Obviously, we know you love PlayStation, but what do you feel about these results at least?
I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, the Xbox One X is still a very expensive console.
True.
I mean, you know, when you look
at 500, right?
Yeah, it's like
600 for us.
So
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. I mean, if I didn't, I'm happy with my Xbox One S. 100%. I think it's great, and it does everything I need it to do.
Newly fixed?
Newly fixed.
Or did they just give you a new one?
I wish they gave me a new one, but they fixed it.
But I probably put a camera in there now.
I asked, well, maybe. I asked to speak to the supervisor. I sent an email to Microsoft. I'm like, I need to speak to your supervisor, the guy I talked to. I wrote this huge, nice paragraph, and the supervisor was like, thank you. This warms our hearts at Microsoft, and so, you know, good shout outs to them.
That's probably one of their automated messages.
Damn.
I'm just kidding.
Written by sexy girls with it.
Yeah, no, I think that the Xbox One X.
You need games.
If you do need games, I feel like, you know, obviously I'm not surprised PlayStation is selling cheaper consoles, and yes, they are poor quality.
Not really though. The PS4 Pro is the same price. Remember?
Is it? But it's not the same quality though as the Xbox One X.
No, but
there's better games.
Yeah, depend. What quality are you talking about?
I don't know. I feel like
you can have teraflops, but you need teraflops.
I feel like
did it make any sense? Nope, but it sounded kind of cool.
2018, we're coming for you.
Yeah, GeekVerse.
I feel like when little Jimmy, you know, he goes to his dad and says, you know what, I wanna play a new video game.
You just got a Switch, and now it's like,
well, kid. Little Jimmy wants to play Mario Odyssey, but also wants to play Skyrim.
He wants Terraform.
Oh, where's the Skyrim?
He can play it on the Switch. What is your argument, sir?
Because I mean, yes, he could.
He can play on his fucking anything.
When his dad wants to get, you know, the PlayStation, Xbox to play Skyrim on, but little Jimmy wants to play Mario Odyssey. So it's like, you know, we're gonna go with the Switch because you can do both.
Yeah.
So I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, the Switch is what's gonna have that little bit of an amp and oomph there, you know, for the little Jimmy.
Amp for oomph.
Anthem.
That's wild. I'm using that. Amp for oomph. What the fuck? That's probably one of my favorite quotes you've ever said, and you just nonchalantly dropped it like it was nothing. Amp for oomph. Let's go.
I'm freaking half this card.
Good for you. Good for you and your family.
You should have done the
it's
chug,
good stuff. I had some.
I'm not gonna. No. Don't spoil your own content. So.
I didn't say it was from any content.
That would probably force just vomit all over.
You'd be
Force
surprised.
vomit. What can you do to
Choke
the
on your
force?
aspirations,
What can you
my
do?
friend.
What can you do to force? I can vomit every meal I've had. Awesome.
Without even. Anyway.
Just. Oh! Vader!
Taylor, go ahead.
That's gonna happen in a canon game. Some fucking Jedi
has
to throw up.
No.
And that's where they put loose remains in his vomit to hide it.
I'm trying to get past this, people. I'm trying to get past this. So, Jimmy's M for oomph.
Yeah, and you know,
I don't know what you said after.
He's gonna want that Switch because it's got the kids game and the adult game. So,
okay.
Can I ask a random Star Wars question?
Okay.
How come Yoda's body disappears, but when Darth Vader dies, his body doesn't disappear? Is it because it's just kind of like a die of natural old age thing?
Well, he could have died in the suit. Disappeared in the suit. The suit could have just been like
Luke
really
still
hard.
burnt the suit for nothing.
Because most of the suit was robotic too. You know,
why did he burn that suit?
Just a good send off.
And okay, what about Qui-Gon? They burned.
Qui-Gon didn't actually complete his training to learn about to go into the Force like that. He didn't fully complete his training.
He was distracted by the lures of
Oh, they were vomiting some stuff up every night.
Fucking Shmee, dude.
They were vomiting up Anakin's
So
dead
sexy.
brothers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, wow.
Emperor of Jimmy,
Yikes.
he's playing Skyrim, he's playing
Odyssey.
yeah.
Yeah,
But Xbox still outsells Switch, so I'm so
Yeah.
confused where you're going.
well, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's good for Xbox. You know, they built this brand new console and they're moving out there.
Is it good for them? Do you feel like they're
Good job,
I
Jimmy.
feel like, you know, it's just going to take a little bit more time and people, you know, will see like, oh, you know, we want those teraflops and we want that better quality. We want that liquid cooling system in our game console. And PlayStation doesn't have a liquid cooling system, so...
Well, if PlayStation 5 comes out though and has all that.
Well then,
Liquid
PlayStation
cooling
or
simulator.
Xbox One X2 will have an air cooling system or something. I don't know.
What I'm picturing is someone goes over to his friend and says, dude, like, I just got the new Xbox One X. He's like, oh, sick. And he opens it up and he's like, dude, check out this, like, liquid cooling system. And, like, you can't even count the teraflops on, like, your fingers. That's how many teraflops. He's
Yeah.
like, dude, sick, let's fire up a game. He's like, oh, I don't have any.
You
I don't have any games,
What
man.
game? What game? Oh, never mind the games. Look at this. He's terrible.
He's like,
Let's
yeah,
go.
get really close. If you smell, you can smell the flops, man. They have a very
Let's count them.
pungent
Let's count them.
scent.
Let's count all the flops together.
So,
Let's do
dude,
it again.
Let's play something. I got some rye. I got ryes, man. Like we can play some.
Rise. That's still an expensive game. I think it's over $10 still.
That's a reason.
Oh, I remember my game news. This
Oh
is a good
no,
one.
Rise 2.
Oh, so-
Taylorfield's making it.
It's a shame now that for Ghost Recon Wildlands, all this cool DLC is coming later in the game. It wasn't out there.
That is a shame.
It wasn't out there when it.
It would have been
first
better if it
released.
was in the game.
It would have been better. So they just, you know, recently released PvP, and now just
They didn't
um,
have PvP.
not to start off, with,
Wild.
but on Friday they just released a Predator event. So literally,
As
you're-
in like Alien vs Predator. Oh.
yeah. So literally, it totally fits.
It could
with
be
the
like
theme.
whose boat is this Predator?
Hunting predators in the neighborhood.
Whose boat is that? Oh, God.
Sorry.
You know, some people call
This
me a
is-
predator.
This is how you close out a year.
Oh yeah.
So it's super cool because in the trailer, I mean, it totally fits with the whole Ghost Recon. You know, it's like Drug Cartel and everything, and you're out in like South America. All
Dark
that.
Cartel.
And predators.
Dark Cartel is the name of a Star Wars character.
Is
Yeah.
it Drug Cartel?
Yeah, he's gonna be in
It's Jar Jar's cousin. Jar
episode
Cartel.
9, a Snoke story.
They're Dark Cartel.
So it's super cool because you can also get like some of the Predator's gear. You can get a Predator helmet. You can actually get the Predator's
But
wristplate
you can't play as
gauntlet.
Predator.
You can, no.
Oh,
you
that
just,
sucks.
he's
That
hunting
sucks
you.
really bad.
But you get some of the cool weapons like from the movie and.
Can you use them?
Yep.
Oh.
But like when you get the Predator's wristblade, that's cool. You can use it, and you get like as I said, like the helmet and his
I
gear.
feel like
and
the
stuff.
helmet would not be good to wear though. It'd be a little heavy.
Yeah, but it's it's like Predators with Morpheus. You know when he was rocking the helmet.
Morpheus.
Yeah.
What's you don't know his real name, do you? His name is Lawrence Fishburne.
That's
He's not.
name is Morpheus.
He's not just a fucking Matrix character. God damn. You just degrade someone to this character they played once and they're like, oh,
And
Morpheus.
he's like, and that's like a meme too. So it's like not even a
yeah.
compliment at this
You're
point.
that terrible fan who's just like, hey Morpheus, sign my shit.
Oh my god. But yeah, I think it's running for about a month. I gotta try that, but I have to do a bunch of Star Wars events first.
Okay.
Yes, find more trinkets. Do you have anything else to say on this last episode of 2017 newscast?
I do. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Mark.
Hi, doggy.
I want to do
Favorite customer.
a good shout out, to you, Travis. This has been a heck of a year.
No, someone's gonna come up and then he's like, oh, but I'm sexual harassment.
No, I want to say, a good shout out to you. This has been like a heck of a year with lots of organizing and planning, especially with like the first 24-hour live stream and everything. But
Dylan did a lot of that too.
oh, and I'll get to Dylan.
Oh, okay, good.
Each one deserves their
I
segment.
didn't like
You're just a
solo
stepping
shout-out.
stone.
Oh
for
yeah,
him to
apparently.
hype up
Um,
me for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
you know what? See you next week. Go ahead.
But yeah, no, you do so much work and everything, and it's greatly appreciated with all your planning and organizing. It goes a long way, and it definitely shows how far we've come in this show, and it's absolutely fantastic. And like your personality and everything that you bring to the table with your news and
I
everything.
think Taylor's leaving the podcast. So he's
I think he
gonna
might
go on.
propose to you. I get ready.
Yeah. Ha,
So-
Madison, suck it!
It's just it's again like a
Shouldn't have named
Yeah, I was
personality.
about to say, like, that's a big
I'm
name
actually
drop.
sorry.
I didn't mention it because I didn't want to like, draw attention to it.
I'm super sorry. That's the name of my dad.
It's just you have a good personality that bounces off with like all of us, and it brings such a great kind of energy to the show. It keeps the fans interested, and
I hope it does. I sometimes feel like I'm the reason they turn off. That's okay.
the same goes for you, Dylan. I mean, just like you bring like a good like positive vibe to the show, and just like it just again your personality bounces well, and like you're planning and everything too, and just figuring things out and like coordinating with Travis and everyone. Like it's great to that we can rely on each other, and especially like rely on you for like figuring things out and to bringing news and all that stuff. Like it's good to know that we have such a great team, and especially like to all the other geeks that aren't here right now. I guess they're busy, or I don't know, but
I fired them actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2018 budget cuts. I had to let go of all 4 of them.
But yeah, shout out to all you guys too, because you guys, you do work, you make time out of your busy schedule to come out and do the casts, and like you always say, like it's all, we don't get paid to do this, we all just,
Well,
we
you
do it.
don't.
You guys get paid?
Oh yeah.
What?
Sorry to break it to you.
Oh no!
I'm making millions of dollars.
Really?
Yeah.
JJ
Shit.
loves us.
I didn't think I got this new shirt that cost $14 on sale because I.
American, so that's like 8,000 Canadian.
Thank you,
8,000,
Taylor. That's
yes.
very kind of you.
You're
We
welcome.
obviously love how you're just the most unique person I think I've ever met.
Oh god.
And for oomph, like
Thank you.
what? That's wild.
Yeah,
And that's
for
not one of your. That's just one of your many quotes that I don't know if anyone else could come up with this stuff.
I hope not.
Like this trend, like the room is interesting, but the things you say are just. It really makes you think.
I would love to be in a sequel for that if he
Yeah.
ever does that.
I think you'd be perfect.
Totally.
Yeah, Taylor, you're just Taylor. And then anyways,
take it.
no. We thank you very much. You do a lot. People don't know you do a lot of thumbnails nowadays. You didn't today though. You kind of
Well, at no time. You could handle it. You had it under wraps.
But no, I think Dylan's right. You are the thing that makes us the most unique podcast out there. We can talk about news.
No other podcast has a Taylor.
Yeah, that's the thing.
There's 100 of me's out there.
Yeah, there's 100 podcasts talking about Star Wars, Last Jedi, 100 of this, but they tune in for us, I guess, but they definitely tune in to hear your takes. And you know what? Even we bug you about it, but your optimism
Yes,
helps
it's
sometimes,
appreciated
you know?
in this world.
Yeah, because sometimes we can
Greatly
just crap
appreciated.
over everything, and maybe lots of times your wording and reasoning will be a little strange, like Skylanders just happened there. But you know what? You're trying to fight the good fight, so.
Except for Jigsaw, apparently.
Yeah, no cash out on that one.
Yeah.
He gets one a year to become us, and then I
Yeah.
don't know. Check out our Jigsaw review. What a great 2017.
Great review.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Taylor, where can they find us for the last few remaining episodes of GeekVerse podcast in 2017? But more importantly, in 2018, in the future, next year, where can they find us next year?
Well, I will shout out next week. One more episode of Rotternauts coming out. It's
it's very good.
very special. Did you watch it by chance?
Which one?
The
Christmas
one that
one.
the Christmas.
There's a Christmas one?
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it.
Really?
At some point.
Cool.
Have
I'll
you
watch
deci-
it before Christmas.
Have you decided what day you're gonna actually release it? Because Christmas Eve is on a Sunday.
I might just drop it. I
You
could
could
Christmas
release
morning?
it Friday.
I was thinking of Friday.
Boom! This Friday, Rod or not,
Yeah.
check your YouTube subscriptions.
Check
That's
your
the
YouTube.
YouTube subscriptions.
That's a good one. I have watched it. I'm not lying. It's great.
So yeah, that'll happen. But other than that, yeah. So for the the last time of the year, you can tune in to your internet connection or your data because we're data worthy. If you want to spend the money on the data, you can donate the data money to us because we're worth it.
Use
So
that
wait,
one.
no, that's two then, because then they have to pay for the data money, but we don't necessarily
You should
get that.
say-
So you're saying that they should pay us as well as the fact that they have
No,
to pay the
You
data
should
money?
data
encourage
worthy.
them to use Wi-Fi so they can give us money for Patreon because they're not just giving us money, they're helping us out and they're getting great exclusive early
Yeah,
content.
Very
And
true.
it feeds many more shows to come.
Yeah.
It does. It goes a long
And
way.
we can hire
so
back those 4 people I just let
Hire
go.
them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We couldn't afford to keep them. So.
Yeah.
you're gonna have to go onto Google, or you could. I don't even know if Ask Jeeves is a thing anymore. It could be.
I
or
feel like you
Yahoo
ask that like
Answers.
once every about 4 months.
Yeah.
it's, It's almost as if like you're subtly asking me or Travis to look it up.
I feel like
am not
he's
once
finally
looking
doing
up,
it.
but Travis might be on it right
Ask Jeeves is now just ask.com.
Ask.com.
now. That makes more sense.
Ask.com.
Because then people are like, who the fuck is this Jeeves guy? I don't want to talk to him.
Jimmy's cousin, Jeeves.
Jimmy's cuz.
So,
Fucking Jeeves.
yeah, you're gonna go into the search bar, you go and type in your Facebook. When you go into your Facebook, you're gonna basically, it's very simple, you're gonna type in GeekVerse space podcast in the search bar. And you gotta hit the space bar, you don't type in space, because it'll take you to a totally different place. I don't know where these sexy woman lady bots are.
But you're gonna want to go there.
Her name is Sarah.
Her name is Sarah, sexy
Very
Sarah,
intimate.
whatever. So you don't want to go there. It's a very scary place. So we won't know it's not scary. It's very safe and comfortable and convenient. Is our page?
I don't know. We have fucking sex bots in our live chat. Apparently, someone.
No one's safe from sex bots. Sex bots are everywhere.
That's what they called me in high school. Go to geekverspodcast.com.
That's not what they called me.
You can find all our social media, Facebook and Twitter. That keeps you updated throughout the new year, throughout 2018, what we're doing. Next year, we will be back. GeekVerse will be back on Friday nights. Friday night is GeekVerse night, and that is all right. We're going to be live all the time. The schedule's been a little hectic. It will be for the next few weeks.
A wild time.
Yeah, people are doing exams. There's
busy.
Christmas shopping. But in mid-January, we'll be back to regular. So go to our podcast services, iTunes, YouTube, iTunes, Ask Jeeves. We've got a huge sponsorship.
Positive ratings on Podbay. It's the dark side is heavily.
People hate us on there. Our last review called us hacks, but I don't think they were referring to us. So, I'm gonna go to ask.com.
Who were they referring to? Do you think?
I think those hunka guys.
Oh, right.
Motherfuckers.
They did say they live through their teeth. So I'm gonna go to ask.com and ask: Is GeekVerse a good podcast? Let's just see what
Really?
comes up here. Yeah, let's see.
Is that what I thought? It was just like a search engine.
It says ask your question.
Oh, so you have to. Okay.
No, it's just acting as a search engine. So then, YouTube. Go there.
What if it just said no? No, you should delete it.
You go to YouTube to watch the video versions of our pretty beautiful selves. Gauntlet will be coming out, so that's a big video thing, raw or not, and we're hopefully going to do some more original content in the new year.
The GeekVerse movie is coming out next year.
Directed by Rian Johnsons.
Oh wow, a whole trilogy in fact.
Yeah, that's a new trilogy. So if you like what we do, please head over to all those or one of those subscriptions or some of them. Give us a sub, give us a like, give us a review. Please help us out, because if you can't donate any of that spare change to just sitting on the carpet collecting dust, give us one of those, because that helps us. That helps us spread the word. That helps us get more shows, more content, more money, honestly, for gear. That's all we use. Anything we make, the few small pennies we do, it all goes towards gear. And I think even iTunes, we got as high as 48, the 48th most, I think, trending episode on TV and movies section on iTunes. And that because of you guys. So thank you very much for supporting us this year. Thank you very much for supporting us next year. I do not know when you'll hear from us next, but I promise you, which will be in 2018, it'll not be boring.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Happy Hanukkah, and whatever religion you have a good holiday season.
Happy Sexbot Day!
Sexbot Day! #Savannah.
So we're going to do some film.